welcome to Sci-Fi-Vision for Revival, calling it now Revival Redux. Finally made a choice with my co-host Laurie. Hello.
Hello. How
And
is everybody tonight?
yes, how is everybody doing? I'm just making sure everybody knows. Trying to put in Discord here. Oh, I'm still connected to the. Sometimes I can't figure out why it keeps me connected to the voice chat in this thing. I can never figure it out. But oh well, I guess it's okay. But let me get everybody the link for anybody who doesn't have it. I'll put it in Discord. But thank you everybody who's joined. Hold on one second. Join this now. Oops. Sorry about that. There we go. But thank you everybody who's joined. Make sure if you haven't that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't, also make sure you join the Discord that I'm adding the link to right now because we have watch parties before we do this at 10 Eastern each time. And actually we have watch parties before all our shows, but specifically to Revival, it would have been at 10 Eastern. So yeah, make sure you join us. You can also get our schedule for all of our different live streams. We have tonight, obviously we have Revivals on Sunday. I cannot talk. That's nothing new. On Sunday at 11 Eastern, Laurie and I have Dead City with the watch party at 9:30. And then on Monday, I have Midnight Murderbot with Scarlett. And Tuesday is my roundup show with Karen and AJ. And then Thursdays, we have Librarian the Next Chapter at 11. So yeah, lots of stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. And also the watch parties for this is 9:30. I said 10, I think. I meant 9:30, but said the wrong thing. So anyway, whoops, there we go. So yeah, sorry, I'm like not with it tonight, but yeah, please make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure also if you're watching on Sci-Fi-Vision that you subscribe to Laurie's channel, Real Cinema Therapy. And yeah, if you're on her channel, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to Sci-Fi-Vision.
Subscribe to both of us.
Yeah, subscribe to both of us.
And like the videos. And when the stream is done, if you can go back and put in a comment, it would be greatly appreciated because that signals the algorithm to put this video out to more people.
Definitely helps. All righty, let me make sure I have everything started. Okay, sorry. I'm like, I don't know, got 20 things going on today at once for some reason. All right, and if you guys have any comments on what we're discussing on the episode in general, on the show in general, please put it in the chat and we will get to your comments. And if for some reason I don't see them in StreamYard, hopefully I will catch it in YouTube. I know sometimes they haven't been shown up in StreamYard, but yeah, we will try to get to everybody.
So, Jamie, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it. I think that it was like the first one was kind of a lot of exposition in a way because it was setting up the story. So I like that we got further along. And I like that I think the thing that I was looking forward to finding out that I was glad they told right away was about M's, what's wrong with her and why they keep saying her condition.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what the heck they were talking about. But we finally know in this episode why her father, her sister, why they've been so protective of her. So I kind of get it. I do think still her father's maybe a little over the top at times, but I get he cares about her. He's not trying to
well, that's an understatement, but
yeah, I said he's still a little over there, a little much, but overall I think he still cares about both of them. And yeah, but I like that it moved the story forward and we find out more about the violent reviver as well. I was glad that they didn't just drop that storyline and that's a continued part of it. What did you think?
But yeah, but with that reviver though, it was very strange what happened, which we'll get into that in the parking lot. So how did she turn into this person? So yeah, that's a big mystery. Hi, Bill Chill. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, the father, the sheriff, I don't particularly care for his character at this moment. I mean, we need to find out more about him, but I don't like the way he spoke to Dana, especially in front of her child, in front of her son. He demeaned her, he disrespected her, and you never do that to someone in front of their kid. So I don't like that he did that.
Yeah, the thing is, I think a lot of it is done for comedic effect, and comes across as us just wanting to, us being upset at the way he acts, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I
but
get that, but it's really very disrespectful. And
it is. It is.
and what is the kid going to think of his mother? I mean, he
Yeah.
loves his grandpa, right? And he loves his mom, but yet grandpa is always angry at mom and is always saying nasty things. So he can grow up to think the same way about his mother. And this is what
Yeah.
happens in real life, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from that point of view too. So.
Oh, totally. All right. Well, we get a flashback when we start out. And again, I'm glad that we got more of this too. Not that we really, learned a whole lot during the flashback, but we do see M when she woke up after having died. Um, I kind of wonder though, would you know for sure you died? I mean, because she doesn't know what happened other than she woke up there. So I feel like, are we missing a piece of it or something? Because waking up in the like at the bottom of the bridge, I guess I should say, in the water under the bridge, like she could have went in the water. There's nothing that says she went over the bridge. I mean, I know we're supposed to assume that, and she probably did, but I just wonder, it makes me think, like, in reality, if it was really you, would you have automatically assumed that you were dead, at least
Well,
not from this part.
well, I got the impression that she was very confused, that she didn't
Yeah,
understand what happened. And even
I
when
guess that's true. We're seeing it after the fact. We're seeing it after we know.
yeah, and when she got up on the bridge, I mean, she was remembering doing drugs. And that was the last thing she remembered. So I don't think she knew she was dead. I don't think she knew it until she came home and her roommate was watching the news and saying, oh, these zombies have come back to life. And I think that's when she realized.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I think after I said it, I thought about it. We're seeing it from the point of view of we already know, but yeah, it might have taken her a while to figure out. I
Yeah.
actually would like to see the moment that she did figure it out, but we probably won't. But yeah, it'd be nice to see it.
Yeah, I would like to see some people who have like a memory of being dead. Like
Mhm.
they saw the light, they went through the tunnel, and then they saw their loved ones. I mean, people who actually had a memory of it. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I would too, but I have a feeling the way they're talking about it, it's kind of like they were alive, they were dead, they were alive. There was
Yeah.
no in between. But yeah, some of them should have, like you said, had a quote unquote near death, actual death experience.
Actual death experience.
Actual death experience. That's gonna be a new thing.
We have to coin a new term now. It's actual death experience.
Yes, that's near death experience. Bill
Hi,
says,
Trey.
hi, Trey. Bill says the bone disease where bones break easily is called osteogenesis imperfecta, also known as brittle bone disease. It's a genetic disorder that causes bones to be weak and fragile. And I think two different people have it to different extents. I know it's like that in the movie Glass. I can't think what the first movie's called, but where the character has that. But she seems like, and I don't know because all we see is her father like worrying about her, but it seems like she was able to, maybe she couldn't do anything dangerous, but she lived her life. I know some people have it a lot worse where like they bump into anything and their bones break unbreakable. Yes. You know my memory.
Right.
But like, so I don't think she had it so much that she bumps into something and she gets a broken bone, which some people do have. But she does break bones easily, so she wouldn't want to do something super dangerous. Probably wasn't allowed to go out and play with other kids when she was little, though, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So yeah, it would still be definitely sheltering and hard on a person growing up, though. But
And they said she only had stage 1, but like the doctors said, well, even stage 1 is very painful. It's very difficult to deal with that. Um, and this might explain why she started taking drugs as she got older, because it is painful.
yeah,
And she
and
was like medicating herself with drugs.
I was gonna say even now the bones may heal, but they still hurt when they break. So I'm sure it's not. It doesn't tickle. Um, so yeah, she has this
But
flashback.
let me ask you one question before we go on. They said that any health problem you had before death stayed with you.
Yeah,
It's the stuff that happens after death that heals very quickly.
right.
So she had this condition before she died. I wonder why her wounds heal so fast, though, when her bones break.
Well, because she has the condition. She didn't have the broken bones before she died.
Right.
At least that's my understanding.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Well, you
sense.
would
Yeah.
still have the disease, but not the actual side effects of the disease would be what
Okay.
that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Bill Chill, you're right. Unbreakable Glass and Split. Elijah Price. And I think Elijah, I don't remember his name, but he had it, I think, a lot worse because obviously he was like confined to a wheelchair, and
Yeah.
it can be a lot more debilitating. So she's at least able to kind of live her life anyway. Maybe not a fantastic life, but she's at least lived her life more than maybe
Right.
some people. I know it would be a horrible thing to live with. But yeah, she has this flashback and she remembers waking up with the wedding ring. And it's hard, I couldn't get a screen capture of the exact moment to show it, but she throws up the ring because she says that later. That's how she finds it. She like spits it
Yeah.
up when she wakes up. But yeah, she remembers being in the water and then on the bridge where she finds her clothes, which I guess actually that would imply that probably you went over the bridge if your clothes are still on the bridge and you
Right.
wake up under the bridge. But so yeah,
But it
she
doesn't mean
know
that
what
she
happened,
doesn't mean that she jumped though.
though.
I mean, yeah, you would assume that, but
Assume
like
she
we all did, right? Watching this.
yeah, I mean, I would assume she might have been pushed, but I would definitely assume that she went over at
Yeah.
some point. So she goes back to her dorm. Now this is, I was gonna say, I'm not, I guess this is this right after or is this now? I'm not sure. I think this might be now. I can't remember for
Well, her
sure.
roommate said she was gone she didn't see her for a few days. So she thought she was in her room.
Okay, so
Uh,
this must have been then when she first died, I guess. I wasn't sure if this was the end of the flashback or not. I was trying to remember. This must be
yeah.
still part of the flashback. But yeah, I mean, we knew she was depressed. We'd already known that, but the only thing I really have make notes was that they made a comment about the weeks 28 later, 28 weeks later movie. Yeah, I think that's the question, Bill. Was she pushed? Did she jump? Uh, yeah, was her body dumped? Maybe she was killed then thrown over. I mean,
Well, she didn't know she was dead until, like I said, until she came in, and now she's laying down, and she's starting to remember things
yeah,
that happened that before she died.
yeah.
But she doesn't remember dying. That's the point. She
No,
doesn't know
she
what
doesn't.
happened.
But I have to wonder though, like she could have been. I mean, she could have technically been killed and then had her body dumped too. Like it would have had to be something that it, if it was done to her pre-death, like it would have still been there. So it couldn't be like her bones were broke and then she died, but like
Hmm.
she could have been poisoned or something like that. Uh,
Right.
so, but anyway,
A shameless plug.
yeah, I
That's
know.
cool.
Oh, hey, it's a zombie movie, right? So it works.
Yeah.
But Kay is complaining a lot that she's lazy. We don't want to stay on there too long.
Yeah, Samuel. We find that out later at the end of the episode. That's true.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny, her roommate here is acting like she doesn't know that she's dead, right? She's like,
Yeah.
oh, what you see what's going on with the zombies. So I wonder when she realized it when she overheard their conversation. That's how she, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She was hiding in the
Right.
closet or whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna a couple of these.
I agree, Bill.
Research.
That the professor is very sus. I agree with you. There's something that he's hiding.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
since you mentioned, I'll put it up. I was gonna start holding it until we got to that point. That's okay. But yes, I agree, and we'll get to that.
And that also, Jamie, you had asked last week why she flinched when he touched her. It's because she has this condition.
Yeah, it definitely could be like she's afraid when he grabs her, he's going to grab her too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would think though he knows she has that condition, so I would think that he wouldn't purposely grab her like that. But I mean, I don't. He would have to know. I mean, she could not tell him that if they're in a relationship.
Well,
but
they were having like a confrontation, right? She was angry with him, and she didn't know how angry he would get with her, so she was just like protecting herself, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So she goes in, she tries to the bathroom, she tries to get high, and she finds out it doesn't work, which makes her very unhappy. And she punches the glass in the mirror. And then see, that's what I said, still hurts to break bones, whether they heal or not. But Yeah, she notices that it heals all of a sudden, although the glass does not clearly. But Kay is
So,
out.
I just want to say, so with this disease, I guess when she would break a bone, it probably would take a while for it to heal,
Oh,
right?
I'm sure it would
Yeah,
heal like a normal person's bone heals. It would
right.
take forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, which you would think, I mean, granted, she doesn't know yet that she heals, right? I could be wrong, but I feel like if you had this disease, like you would not. I mean, I could understand getting really mad, but I feel like for someone who's lived through the pain of this, like you would not be punching mirrors where you could break your hand like that because you would have to wait weeks and weeks for it to heal. So I'm kind of surprised she does that other than for a plot point of the show for you to see her healing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it, to me would have made more sense if like she had gotten hurt accidentally just because I can't see someone who's had that happen to them purposely do it in anger
Well,
or not. But
well,
I mean,
well,
I don't know. I guess she could be mad enough.
yeah, no, I agree. But think about what she was doing in that moment. She was trying to get high because
Yeah.
she needed that. She was depressed. She was anxious. She was freaking out, and she needed that, coke to bring her down. And when it didn't work, she has all these emotions. So she got angry and she punched the mirror. It's almost like she's trying to harm herself at that moment.
Yeah.
That's how I took it,
That's true. That's
because
true.
she knew it would hurt her, but she
Yeah.
didn't know she'd heal so fast.
Yeah. No, she definitely didn't know. And
I
you're
j-
right. She can't get
yeah,
high. She's mad. She's upset. Like, I get it. I'm just saying that if I don't know if it was me and I knew how bad it hurt to break bones and how long it took to heal, like, I don't know that I would think you'd think before you acted. You know what I mean? But I guess if,
not in that moment. I mean,
yeah,
she's
I
in
guess it
shock. She
depends.
finds out she's actually dead, and
Right.
and
But this is before
the
she finds
drugs don't help her anymore, right? So
yeah,
she
she's
freaks
not getting
out. She freaks
but
out. It's almost like somebody that would like harm themselves. So it's like self-harm.
yeah.
She wanted to hurt herself. She was angry at herself.
Yeah.
Because who else is she going to be angry with? She's dead. I mean, there's no one else to be angry with.
Yeah.
Right. She needed the escape, and the drug was not there for her. So this is what she did. I just want to comment quickly on something Samuel said about 20 years later. 28 years later. I mean, we're not going to talk about it, but um, I had heard mixed reviews on it, so which is very, kind of upsetting because everybody was so looking forward to this movie. I mean, the hype was incredible, but I have heard a lot of people were disappointed with it. So, but anyway, I just wanted to
Yeah.
mention
Well,
that.
it must not have been so bad if he's excited for the next one. So hopefully.
Oh, because the next one's going to have Killian Murphy in it. Killian Murphy is not in this one. Also, that's another problem I think people were upset about. But anyway,
I
I don't want to get off the topic,
no,
but
that's fine.
I
I
just
don't know
wanted to
enough
mention
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. All right. So Kay is gonna go to see her parents. But M comes out in the living room here and she's seen that her hand's healed. And she's like, shocked at this point. Now, it's been on the news what's going on. So I would assume that she probably might have an inkling that that's what happened at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you maybe don't remember your death, but if you woke up like she did and you saw your hand heal, I think you'd probably put two and two together.
And they must feel different too. Think about it.
Yeah.
There has to be something else besides their skin healing quickly. They must feel different in some way.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody who didn't know find out. That to me would be interesting because then
Yeah.
maybe you know a little bit more.
Right.
But she cuts open her hand, which I get. Probably anybody would do that at this point. Like, wait,
Yeah.
that can't be real. We got to check. We got to check that again and see if
Yeah.
it really happened. That's got to be that's got to be freaky. But yeah, and then we got the opening credits, and I landed on a really cool shot, so I went ahead and kept it in there, even though we didn't need it.
Yeah, I like that shot.
Really cool. Yeah, I was thinking after I made the logo, I was thinking should have put like a daffodil in it or something. But then when I tried to do that, like it just looked like a flowery, girly logo, and it didn't match the show. So I went back.
What about putting the skull in there in the logo?
Yeah, I could try that. I did have a skull at first when I did it. I had a couple different versions, but
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, I know other people don't know, but I've been trying to animate all day and I got it. Like it actually, I can show you guys it just because it irritated the shit out of me. I was so mad. Sorry, don't mind me. I have, oops, that it? Where'd it go? Nope. Must be this one. Hold on. It's here somewhere. Yeah, see, I have it and I animated it, but like when I knocked the white out, it took the letters out, and you
Oh, I
can't
see. Yeah.
it's hard to see it. So until it's because there was more white inside the actual logo. So until I understand DaVinci a bit better, that's what
Oh, you
happened.
did that in DaVinci. That's great.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't do the animation in DaVinci. I knocked the background out, and then I was trying to knock it out in OBS too, because it was done different ways, and either way, I couldn't get just the background, so it needs some prepping, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, with having the amount of time I had, that's what I gave up and just used Photoshopped logo and tried to take out the white in the little bit of time I had left. I know
No, it looks nice. I like it.
Thanks,
looks good.
But yeah, I decided, I don't know. I talked to you. I know we went through different logo titles, but I just thought Revival Redux made sense.
I like it.
Thank y'all. Let's see. Bill says we know a little of why the ring is in the intro. We need more information. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the wedding ring. We don't know whether it's his or not. I mean, he's like, look, that isn't my ring. I have a ring, but I don't know that necessarily proves it wasn't his ring. Oh, that's a good point. Bill said it could be Dana and M's mother's ring.
I don't think so, because it looks like it's a man's ring.
It does look like a man's ring. It's pretty big, but it could even, well, no, it couldn't be her father's ring. Well, I hope it's not her father's ring. But I sure hope not. Hey, we're saying he's really a lot. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think it would be that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yes, I assume it's probably Aaron's ring. But since he had one, I don't know. So then we go back to where we left the end of last episode after Dana knows that M's alive because she's survived being scythed to death, I guess is the best way to say it. Sliced with the scythe.
Yes. Sliced with the scythe. Scythed to death. I like that.
Yeah. So Dana is freaking out, as she should be, wanting to know why she didn't tell her, but they're running out of time because backup's coming, and she's like, you can't tell anybody. So Dana basically is like, you need to tell everybody that I killed this woman, which her name's Arlene, by the way, that she killed her and she was not involved, and she showed up after the woman was dead, and that the woman was a violent reviver, and that's why she had to kill her when she went crazy and tried to kill her, and then she had to stop her. Right. Which actually, I mean, that's believable. It's a little concerning the fact that M's covered in blood, but
right.
I guess the blood could have squirted. Maybe she got there right as she scythed her. I don't know. And Bill says, I was thinking, why didn't the police EMT restrain? I'm assuming that's restrain the old lady's corpse. Well, okay. Think about it from like a real person's point of view and not a TV show. Her head was cut open, like half her head was missing. I think they probably just assumed she was dead at this point. I don't even, and the thing is they don't know. I mean, we know they regenerate a little bit, but we don't know to what extent. So yeah, I would assume that they just assumed she was dead. And yes, you're right. They should have restrained her. That would have been the smart thing. But yeah, half her head was missing. So I'm not sure they were really thinking that through.
Yeah, that was a major screw up, actually. I mean, it's always best to be safe. Yeah, play it safe, right?
But they have zombies. We've all seen enough zombie shows and movies. I guess that's a good point. If you know that people are coming back to life, you would think, well, what if she comes back to life again? Maybe we should be prepared.
But the thing is, Bill, no one else is a zombie except for her. All the other revivers came back like themselves. She's the only one that's acting like a zombie, right?
Yeah. I would question, though, that maybe she could come back again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing no one else has come back since Revival Day. Because otherwise they might think that.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking anyway.
That's right.
So let's see. So that's the story that they're going with. And the deputy, and I don't have their names, but I guess they're two deputies. They're two people from the police station. They come in and tell her, she tells them what happened. And then we flip to Cooper, who I think it wasn't super. To me, it was still part of the weird music, but that was supposed to be something he was hearing, wasn't it? Because it sounded like it definitely to me, but he never said anything.
He just said to his dad, "Do you hear that?" So
Okay, he did say that. So
he
yeah,
did hear something. Yeah.
yeah,
This part was strange. Well, we'll get to it. I don't really understand this. Maybe because the sheriff knows this guy, it turns out. So it's
yeah,
very bizarre to me. But
yeah.
anyway.
It is. Bill, she was scalped, not decapitated. Well, when they show her, her brain is partially sliced off into the other part of the skull. So I think she was a little more than scalped, supposed to be. She wasn't decapitated, though. You're right, but I would say like a quarter of her brain was was not there. So I would
I
assume
would say anyone that died and comes back to life, you
you would
can't
watch.
use normal logic. You have to take
No, you're totally right.
precautions,
You're totally
right?
right.
So
But
I
they
think
don't.
that was a major screw up on their part.
No,
Yeah.
I do too. But I mean, that's one of those things where it's a TV show, and
Oh
it
yeah.
wouldn't have been good if they
If they tied her up, she wouldn't have been running around the hospital.
yeah, there
So,
would be no story.
right.
So yeah, Cooper, blah, 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 he gives him Blaine, gives him his glasses back. This is Blaine, who, yeah, we don't really know anything about him.
And you know who this is, right? This is
He's from Walking
Stephen
Dead.
Ogg
Yes.
from The Walking Dead. He played
Yes.
Simon, Negan's right hand man.
Yes, and I will be talking to him on Monday.
Oh,
so,
how
if
exciting!
anyone has any questions for him, you can drop them in Discord. There's a channel for submit questions. It's there should be one that's generic as opposed to specifically for this show. I didn't add it to Revival, but just use one of them. You can find it or on X. And I have the interview with the one that plays their father,
Oh,
David James Elliott, which will be I got to see. It'll either be up like late tonight or tomorrow, most likely. So, but I have producers as well, but that one will come first because I edited that one already. So,
wow, that's great. So you already interviewed both? Oh no, you didn't interview them yet.
yeah, no, I interviewed Melanie and Romy, the one who played the two sisters. That
Right.
one's already up on
Okay.
our YouTube if people want to see it. Yeah, and I
Okay.
interviewed the showrunners and David James Elliott. We were supposed to interview the person who plays Ibrahim, but he had to cancel, so
Okay.
that did not happen. But I am at least talking to Stephen on Monday, so that's cool. I was
That's
trying to
great.
get that. I was happy. I wanted to talk to him because I also knew him from Walking Dead. So, okay. So Kimberly said he isn't the one in the stand. She was asking me that earlier. I didn't know. So there's the answer. I guess
No, he
not.
wasn't in the stand. No.
No, but apparently he's from Better Call Saul. That's where Sam knew. Whoops, that didn't pop up. Sam knows him from Better Call Saul. Yeah, I knew him from Walking Dead. I mean, he's been in, I think, a lot of things, so he's kind of like a character actor.
He was the bodyguard in Better Call Saul. I don't remember that. Wow.
I don't know. We'd have to go look
Interesting.
up. But anyway, he's mysterious. He's a little creepy, I guess I'd say. Like we don't really know a lot about him. But he's nice to Cooper. He doesn't say anything other than he needs to get unlost or something like that when he says that he got lost in the woods. Oh no, he doesn't say get unlost. He says go back and be found. Sorry, he tells him he got lost. So yeah, he tells him to go back, find his way back, and he doesn't really help him go back. But I think that he probably would have if he went the wrong direction.
Right.
I get the opinion because he was just kind of saying, go back and find whoever you're supposed to be finding. I think he just didn't want to be a part of it, maybe. But and look, that's also of interest, probably the fact that there's these dream catchers all over the place. I don't know if that is anything to do with the revivers or they just like to put dream catchers in the woods.
Yeah, it's interesting because in From they had dream catchers, and you see this a lot lately in a lot of shows.
Yeah,
so it symbolizes
to catch evil spirits and that kind of thing, and
right. So they're trying to imply that this guy is evil.
Maybe, or that he's in a. I see. I would more take it that place is warded against evil if he hung them, but maybe he didn't. Maybe they're against him. I don't know. I kind of assume they might be his because he's in the woods. I don't know. I guess he could just happen to be in the woods, but I kind of assumed they were.
Yeah, because there's 3 of them in this shot, there's one on each side,
Yeah.
and then there's the one right in front of him. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, I think that comment's about Better Call Saul. I'm like, what?
The pharmacist guy.
I'm pretty sure that's about Better Call Saul because I don't understand it, so I'm asking.
You know, Samuel, I saw it a while ago. I really don't remember him being in it, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill says that Cooper and Blaine seem to have a gift. I'm not sure whether if Blaine heard it or not. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, the fact that he heard the sound, but maybe you're not. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I'm assuming you mean that he heard the sound and that's why he was out there, which might have been the case. We really don't know why he was out there, but
Right.
But yeah, he knows something. Hello, Fletcher. Welcome.
Hi, Fletch.
Haven't seen you in a bit. All right. So anyway, he tells him to go back, is the gist of that scene. Then his grandfather finds him.
Yeah, Samuel, he was a minor character. That's why I don't remember him in the show.
Yeah. But he doesn't, I think says he met somebody. I don't think he tells anybody who. He just says he met somebody in the woods.
Yeah, he doesn't say who it is. I don't think he knows who it is. I don't think he knows him.
No, well, the kid wouldn't know.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know.
The kid doesn't know.
To explain it. But anyway, so M's getting checked out by the paramedics, and Dana is telling this cop here that, oh man, my tooth is starting to hurt. I got a cavity. I got to get filled. I'm waiting to get an appointment in. Anyway, they both agree that they're going to keep the sheriff out of what's going on. I'm assuming that this is more just kind of like they know he'll freak out because M was involved and she was involved. That would be my take on that. But yeah, they're going to the hospital. They don't want anybody to discover about M, but that guy doesn't know it. Only Dana does. So then we have Ibrahim here, and her name, I guess, is Carla. And they're going to do the autopsy on Arlene here. See, it's more than a scalping. Part of her head's missing, not just.
Yeah, wow, a lot of her head is missing.
A lot. It's part of her brain. It's not just the scalp. Because I agree with what he was saying earlier. If she was just scalped, she could be alive. But that's more than a scalp.
Right.
But sorry, I try not to keep it on the violent pictures too long, just because I don't know if YouTube will try to block it.
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, Dana is trying to talk to her while she has a couple minutes again, and why didn't you tell me? And she's telling her she wasn't in a good place, but that she'll try to tell her everything after. But they can't right now because their father's coming in. And
he's the father really irritates me. You're going to be interviewing him. That's a question.
Him.
You already interviewed him. Sorry.
No,
I need some coffee. I have to wake up.
No, that's okay. It's confusing. Okay. Yeah, no. I interviewed the people already, except for Stephen Ogg. That's
got it. Because I would have asked him if I could have. How do you feel about your character being this way on the show?
I hadn't really. I should have, but in all honesty, I hadn't really seen him as quite as much of a douche as you're saying.
Sheriff douche dad, I like that.
Sometimes I feel like when you discuss something, you notice something more than it stuck out when you see it. You know what I mean? When you're watching.
But Jamie, think about it. He's yelling at them in front of people in the hospital, in front of the kid. I mean, he's airing their family stuff, in public. If anything, he could wait until they're all alone and talk, Yeah. He has no filter, this guy. He just, whatever comes in his head, he just blurts it out.
Well, he's the sheriff or whatever. He probably thinks he can do whatever he wants and is used to doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right, is what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying, I noticed it, but it didn't seem as big of a deal, I guess, until we started discussing it. And I really thought about it. When I seen it the first time. But anyway,
I understand he's the sheriff and he has a job to do.
Yeah.
And I can understand him being a little authoritative in that respect, but he goes beyond that. He's disrespectful. There's a difference.
Disrespectful. But some of when he is yelling at Dana here, though, I do kind of get his point of view with this conversation when he's like, why did you take her to a crime scene? Because if she does get hurt easy, well, not that that would necessarily put her in danger, but I mean, she is his kid too. So I kind of get that he's like, you took your little sister to a crime scene. Why the hell would you do that? Like,
Yeah,
that
but
was
Jamie,
stupid.
I agree with you. But if he had waited for them to be alone and he spoke to her about it, that's fine. But
Yes.
he said it in front of the hospital staff, in front of her son.
Yes.
It makes her look bad as a cop. It makes her look
That's
bad.
what
It
just
makes
means
yeah,
her. Yeah, I agree. I agree. There was nothing wrong with him being upset about it, but he should have held it until they were in private.
exactly.
But M is kind of like over it, and she tries to leave. And Dana, this is where Dana grabs her, and he's like, "You can't grab her like that. Don't be careless." And she had meanwhile just found out from Cooper what happened. And she's like, careless, like, you lost Cooper. And of course, then Dana's like, wait, what? What's going on? So that way they are not paying attention to her.
Right.
And why is there, I guess that's like a light in there. I don't know. There's like a line.
Yeah, Bill, I agree. Too much power for him to handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave it at home, man. But I lost track of what I was going to say. So yeah, she distracts them basically by saying that. And I don't know why there are lines across the photos. I don't know. It's weird. But she distracts them. But then, of course, they're like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving? Because she's like, I don't need this. She's like annoyed at both of them from, what they are doing, yelling at her, trying to tell her what to do. And then, after this, Dana blames him, which can't really blame her for that.
You're right.
So, and then we have this woman, I guess her name's May. I couldn't remember what her name is.
She was the one in the opening scene in the first
Yes.
episode. She was pretending to be like a college, doing a college, I don't know, project or something.
Yeah. I must have missed it a little bit here.
I don't think they said how they know each other, but I assume it's from high school. They probably went to high school together. So.
Yeah, well, maybe, but she before said something about Dana, made it sound like she covered up something to do with another case, a deer or something, black deer. I think it's in the first episode. I don't remember. We went over it. It was like a really quick line. Muncher didn't know this was happening. Hello, welcome, Muncher.
Hi, Muncher Luncher.
As I said, and I will repeat for Muncher since Muncher probably missed that. Make sure you guys, if you're looking to know when our live streams are, always check the schedule update. I made a channel for schedules. I'm not sure. I might not have marked it for the new week, but if it changes, I change it. It's just we're doing the same thing this week we were last week. But yeah, that way you can remember when things are, because I know there's so many going up. It's hard to figure out what the hell's going on. Bill said Sheriff Douche Dad hasn't been grieving in a healthy manner. He has not. He's still grieving his wife. That's fair. He is. And
she's been dead 2 or 3 years now, I think.
2 years, yeah. So it's not been that long. So I mean, I totally get if he's having issues, but he needs to deal with them a bit better.
Oh yeah.
So
that's what therapists are for.
Yes, you're right. That's what therapists are for. But May has come in to try to find out what's going on. And Dana does not get a chance really to talk to her. And there's also this part, and I said I think I missed this part in the screen captures, but
thanks Kimberly.
But Wayne was telling Ibrahim, the scientist, and the deputies that they're not to tell the press, not to talk to the press about what happened with Arlene. And I don't have a picture of it, but they had said that nobody's allowed to talk to the press. And he does tell.
So she's actually a reporter, I assume.
Yeah, she's
right?
A reporter, but yes, she does know Dana. But she's trying to talk to Cooper either way, and Cooper's telling her that he met a guy in the woods. Doesn't tell her who, but this is when she comes in, and she tells the other cop that's there. I don't know if I'm going to find out these were out of order, and that's why I'm missing them again. Sometimes that happens. But she told the other cop to take Cooper to the cafeteria for some snacks because she's got to take care of May here, who is trying to find out what's going on. And then meanwhile, Ibrahim finds his body and that Arlene is gone. And it's like, oh shit. So,
I screwed up.
Yeah, they screwed up because, well, it wasn't his job. He wasn't the cop. It was really Wayne's job, to be honest. But this guy, the security guy, or the guard, guard is dead. And they set off the alarm. But meanwhile, Dana, this is, I think, like before they really know what's going on, she's trying to kind of get her to let off. And then they find out kind of what's happening, and you see like a body be thrown across the hallway there. She's trying to choke him. Now, see, there she looks more scalped, but I'm guessing that's because probably when they showed her in the gurney, it was like a silicone body, where here it's a real person that can't be missing the top of their head. Right. So to be fair, I could see how you could see that if you looked at it now. But Dana tells her that she's got to get going, and I thought I was confused about this because I don't know if I just marked it down twice in the notes and I mixed up who she told, because I know she told the cop to take her son, but I thought here I have written down that she was telling May to go get her son. I don't know why she would be telling her anything. So
she was telling her to leave.
Yeah, I think I got that mixed up in my notes. But anyway, they're trying to figure out what's happening, and they end up in the maternity ward, and we see Arlene here holding a baby, talking to it like nothing's wrong, and they try to grab her, but she runs again, carrying the baby with her, and they end up out in the parking garage, and they find, instead of finding her, they find Blaine. Now, Blaine, the thing is that Blaine seems to know Wayne. Wayne and Blaine, they know each other, because he says, Blaine, what are you doing here? And he doesn't seem worried per se that he's holding the baby. So wouldn't you say?
Wait, who's worried? I didn't get that. What'd you say?
Whenever Wayne, the sheriff, finds Blaine with the baby, he's like, oh, Blaine, what are you doing here? Like, he doesn't seem panicked that Wayne's the one who got the baby. So it kind of made me think when I first saw it that, like, oh, this is just like the weird guy in town. He's harmless type of thing. That because he clearly knows him by name. If he knew him because he had arrested him or something, I would think he would have been a little bit, worried. But he doesn't seem worried at all, unless it's just the way they played it. I don't know. That's how I kind of took it. Like, oh, this is just this guy that I know and everything's fine.
Yeah, it was very strange. He didn't look surprised to see him. He didn't wonder where Arlene went. He's like,
he does say something to him about Arlene, but he doesn't answer. And
how could he be holding the baby? It's very strange.
Yeah. Mike says those revived were fixed up with AI and nanotechnologies. Oh, I assume Mike means because the head kind of grew back.
Yes.
The
special effects are good in this show.
Well, they are. But like I said, you can't really, there's some things, if you have a real person, you can't like fake, like having half their head missing. Well, you could use green screen, like how they get rid of Voldemort's nose and stuff like that. But it would take a lot of money. And for a show like this, I'm honestly kind of surprised they had such a great silicone, I'm assuming silicone model, that they had the dead body that was laying there, because it looked really good. So
it did. I agree, Mike. It looked good. And Bill says the revived old lady is an awesome threat and monster for the show. Yeah. So far, she's the only real monster that we've seen.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's a cool thing there. Now Bill is talking about what Blaine was saying. He's religious, spiritual cult. He has some inside info, probably prophesies the revival to Wayne, but Sheriff Douche didn't believe him. That makes sense. I could see that happening. He starts saying, I have written down here what he says. I have given you permission to tread on the serpents and the scorpions. The gates of hell have opened. Yeah. So he's definitely got some, saying some end of the world stuff, and seems to be maybe part of a cult, that kind of thing. I would agree with that. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of saying, like, the fact that he doesn't worry about him makes me think that it's kind of like that. Oh, this is just that crazy homeless guy, or I don't know that he's homeless. I'm just saying that, like, this crazy guy or whatever. He
Yeah.
lives in the woods. That's why I'm like, maybe he's homeless, maybe he isn't. But I kind of get like that opinion, like this is the guy that people, he's okay, but he's just creepy type of thing. I could be completely wrong, but that was the opinion I got from
Yeah,
him.
no, that makes sense, Jamie. But I would think in this situation, he would want to take him down for questioning. What did she say to you? How did you get the baby from her? Right?
Yeah.
Some leads, something. So
Yeah.
I think Wayne kind of dropped the ball here with that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. But he lets them go, or at least we don't see him take them for questioning. But again, these are people who don't use gloves and everything, so
Right.
I'm not Blaine will go from crazy nut job to town cult leader soon. Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's the man in yellow, but actually he's the man in black here.
Yeah, he's the man in black. Yeah, I definitely think that there's more to him than the one that's just, the crazy guy in town. And he does seem to be part of something not uh not normal. I don't know. I would have to. I've seen part of The Stand, but it was so long ago. I don't remember.
The actor that played the evil guy, I don't remember his name. The actor, he wasn't very well known in the TV show, the original. I think it was a multi-part series. It had Rob Lowe in it, and
Yeah.
quite a few well-known people. And no, that's definitely not him. Now there was another remake of The Stand done later. I don't think I saw that one. I don't remember who's in that one.
Part of the new one. Yeah, there is a newer Stand. I don't know. See, usually he doesn't even have long hair. He usually looks a lot different.
He has short hair usually.
So,
yes.
Yeah,
but Kimberly, he was in The Walking Dead. If he looks familiar to you, maybe you know him from that. He played the savior Simon, Negan's sidekick. So he had a pretty big role in The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where we know him from. So Wayne talks to Abraham, and wait, he knows. Okay,
he looks like David Carradine. Yes, he does.
He kind of does. Who was also, well, he was in Fear the Walking Dead, not Walking Dead, but yeah.
David. Oh, that's right. He was. I forgot. Yeah. David Carradine. That's right.
I had talked to him. That's why I remember. So both that reminds me of them. He wasn't. It just gives me a vibe. He's going to be the one in charge of the evil ones. He may be. We'll have to. Have to wait and see. But Sheriff here talks to Ibrahim and the mayor. About
Randall Flagg. That was the name of the evil guy in the Stand. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So glad you remember him, Kimberly.
Yeah, he was great in The Walking Dead.
He was good. He was good in Walking Dead.
And he was in Dead City. Do you remember the first season? I think towards the end. I don't know which episode it was. He appeared to Negan in like a hallucination.
Oh, he wasn't actually okay. He was in a vision flashback thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do kind of remember that actually. Was it a clip from the original show though, or
was No, he actually came on the show and he shot that scene with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I wasn't sure. All right. So they talk to the mayor, and basically Wayne is like kind of, I don't know, worried about what the revivers are going to do. The people are going to be freaking out about the revivers. Like, he wants to lock them all up, and the mayor does not want to do that. And this is where Abraham says that cops have a history of mistreating and abusing marginalized people. But he sort of agrees with them, but he doesn't say that they should be locked up. He didn't say that, but he does say that, they could be dangerous and they need to like figure out what to do. But yeah, Wayne is quick to judge, quick to
Mhm.
want to round them up. And I mean, I said before, this reminds me of something like X-Men or whatever, this idea of
Yeah.
other and being scared of somebody because they're different. And I mean,
And
to be
this
fair,
is his
real
controlling nature.
history, bad things like that happen when you're different. And yeah,
Right.
it's very bad.
This is his controlling nature. He just
And
takes charge and
yeah,
he wants to round them up and, put them in their place and watch them. And this is part of who he is, his
yeah.
personality. Right.
And I think that I mean, I'm guessing like that's going to have to change because he's probably going to eventually find out about M, and then he's going to be like, oh shit, I've been, throwing all these people under the bus. What do I do now?
Hmm.
Because that's why you should, yeah, that's why you should be careful what you say. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't just, because you never know. He doesn't know that it couldn't have happened to somebody he knows and loves and that they aren't telling him. So
That's right.
something like that. So anyway, Abraham does say they need to use or not, Abraham doesn't say, they say they're going to use their resources to capture Arlene. They're going to try to find her. They're still looking for her. I kind of question though, if Blaine was like a good guy, quote unquote good guy, why didn't he try to stop her? I mean, I guess maybe he wouldn't because she might kill him, but he somehow got the baby. Maybe she just left it there. I don't know. They didn't really explain.
Yeah, I
But
thought that was weird because they made it look like she almost turned into him, right? Because they just show you hear the baby crying, and then they pan up slowly, and then you see it's Stephen Ogg's face.
yeah.
So it's like the impression is they're giving us is that she turned into Stephen Ogg, his character.
Oh, okay. I
I mean,
definitely.
that's how I took it.
You mean like literally she turned into him?
That's how I took it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I definitely didn't take it that way. I just took it that like she left the baby or gave him the baby. Yeah, I don't know. Kimberly says I don't think he's a good guy. Yes, I don't think he's a good guy either. I'm just saying the fact that the sheriff doesn't seem to be bothered by him. I'm saying like, yeah, that he didn't even try to stop her, but he might have been worried she'd kill him too. And
But where
I
did she
really
go?
don't
That's the whole point.
I don't
It's like they didn't even continue looking for her. Like they just stopped and they saw him, and it's like, well, why aren't you looking for Arlene?
Yeah.
So it's almost like that's why I think the interpretation is that she turned into him.
That's a really interesting interpretation. I had
Yeah.
not even thought of, but yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, maybe they can change their body. We don't know. And she's got something weird going on with her. I just kind of assumed that she left the baby and it was kind of like a little bit sloppy writing there. I
Could
didn't
be.
put that much thought into it, but you could be right. I mean, hell, if they can regenerate body parts, why couldn't they regenerate into somebody else? I mean,
Exactly.
that's an
Right.
interesting take I had not thought of. So yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. So Dana has come
Thank you.
to investigate M's dorm. Now, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if I can zoom in on here or not, about these pictures. Yeah, I can. They look like portals to me, like portals and tentacles. That's what it makes me think of. What happened to me?
They
That
look
was
like old dream catchers, don't they?
oh, maybe. Interesting. They could
Most
be.
of them anyway.
I hadn't thought about it. You know what it also kind of looks like? I don't know. Can you see my mouse? Sometimes
Yes, I
people
I
really
see
can't.
it
Okay.
now. Yes.
That kind of, and I know it's because it's far away and it's a pencil drawing, but that kind of looks like the from symbol a little bit, doesn't it?
A little
I'm
bit.
really reaching. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It kind of
it
makes me think
does.
of the from symbol. I mean, I tend to think, I don't know, to me they all look like portals or portal to hell or a hell mouth or I
But
don't
it's
know.
interesting that she's drawing this because this is what we're seeing with his name is Blaine's character. That in the woods he was surrounded by these dream catchers.
Yeah, they could be dream catchers. I don't know. To me, they look more like tentacle like and rather than I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Can you
Um,
zoom in more again?
Yeah, Bill says Blaine may be protecting Arlene. That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
I would have
See, to me, they look like dream catchers
upscaled the image if I had thought about it.
because dream catchers have the long strings. So
Kind of. I don't know. To me, like I'm wondering if their connections though are something important. Like I see like
yeah,
the tentacles reaching for each other and connecting together. That's why I kind of thought they looked to me like I said they look to me like portals with tentacles coming out.
yeah, I agree with you.
really don't
Yes,
know.
they are definitely all connected. They're telling a story. It reminds me of From, actually. You
Yeah, it
know,
does. It also reminds me of the opening credits too, all the strings that are weaved together.
yes, yes, I agree. Yeah, I think there's some correlation here. Um,
That would
yeah,
be awesome if it was connected to From, I'm sure.
that would be
Unfortunately,
great.
not the same IP, not the same company, but it would be cool if it was.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's a mixture of portals, dream catchers, and I mean, we see there's a star there. Um, it's a couple
the
of
other part of
stories.
the store, it's
And I can't see the lower picture. I can't see it, but by the lamp. Can you
that looks
zoom in
like
on the one by
flowers
the
there.
lamp? Yeah, yeah, up a little bit. Yeah, let's see now. What is that? Does that
It's
look like a lake, like where she jumped? Where she's?
oh,
Yeah, that's a
oh,
lake.
maybe that's what she saw, like as she was dying. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's where that's the lake.
It
Yeah,
could be on. It could be like a lake underwater or something. But these to me look like this reminds me of the Severance stuff we were pulling apart. They look like either cells or flowers or something with the star.
brain, the brain,
The brain, the brain,
the
the brain.
brain. Like with Arlene, it looks like her brain.
Kind of. I don't know. Maybe she's prophetic. Who knows? Um,
Maybe.
Bill says M is having visions. Cooper is hearing sounds. Others may have gifts as well. Um, as far as we know, though, Cooper isn't dead. I mean, I guess it's possible he could be, but I'm kind of guessing he's not. But I guess he could be. Otherwise, I'm not sure why he would hear things, unless it's like a genetic thing, like they're all part of the same family. Maybe Dana will start hearing things. I guess that's a possibility.
But
Maybe he.
also taking that a step further, maybe all the people that revived are all connected now, that they sense each other
Ooh,
and they can
yeah,
communicate with
that's
each other.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Like
Um,
when M was by herself in the hospital, I mean in the police station, when she was
yeah.
going to get the candy bar, I thought she was going to have an encounter with Arlene. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Hmm.
That Arlene sensed she was there or something. But that
No,
didn't happen. But
no, it
I
didn't
I
happen.
think there might be a connection there between all of them.
Yeah. Well, the fact that we have the opening credits with the web of evidence, whatever you want to call it, I think that could be an assumption that makes sense to me. Saying that. Dream catchers hold cultural significance, particularly with Native American traditions, as talismans believed to filter out bad dreams and allow for good ones to pass through. And that's why I said they're also, I think, a lot of times like ward off demons or keep. Um, so I guess the question is whether, like I said earlier, did Blaine put them in the woods or did somebody put them in the woods to stop him? I don't know. Samuel added, purifying or cleansing a dream catcher is a common practice to maintain its effectiveness and remove any accumulated negative energy. And Mike says, I believe they are. I think that was in response to us saying they're all interconnected.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay, Sam. You don't got to be superstitious. We're all reading, looking for clues. Why the heck did my YouTube?
JB, I'll be right back. My cat is crying. Let me just see what's going on. I'll be right back.
I'm just trying to figure out why the heck my video isn't live on my other screen. I try to make sure I keep YouTube running while I'm on here, just because that way if you guys chat and it doesn't show up, I can see it. Because actually, I see we are behind, it looks like. Yeah, no, I don't know. The chats aren't synced. That's why I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So if you guys say something, I might not see it right away if it ends up in YouTube because it's whatever reason YouTube's behind and yeah, they're not synced. Anyway, they are coordinated by a super mind. That would be interesting, like a hive mind.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, sorry. Mike says they're coordinated by a super mind. That would be interesting if they have like a hive mind.
Yes.
Thing going on.
Yeah, I think so. I think that it would explain why that guy Blaine happened to show up there at that moment. Like he knew Arlene needed help or something.
But does that mean he's one of them too? You think he's revived? Or you think he's her, right? So I don't know.
Well, I think he could be either her or he's somehow connected to the revivers and he shows up when they need help or something. Maybe he's not her, but maybe he's helping her. Oh, the kitten's fine. Thanks, Muncher. She was just I think she was just lonely. She was calling me.
Making noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually it's my dog that's doing that, but she's, I think, in bed. Bill says about the web in the beginning with the skull, the connection to Spider Woman, the hoop, and the web designer reminiscent of Spider Woman, Sibikashi, a protector and neutral in Ojibwe myth. I'm not saying that right. It makes me think too of Anna. I want to say Anasazi. It's not Anasazi. Anasazi's X-Files. But it sounds kind of like Anasazi. It's the spider, like the goddess of spiders or something like that. That reminds me of when he says that, but I'm not Anisi. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up, but that's what that reminds me of when he says that. I don't really know. But yeah, there could definitely be things that are interconnected. But she finds all these drawings at any rate. And I lost my pictures. Hold on. I gotta grab the thing here. Okay. There's another. And then she also finds her clock radio that has a bag of pills in it, which is not good. And she, comes out and starts to talk to M. And I love, she's like, this is your idea of leaving me alone. She's like, you're coming here to complain about the drugs. And Dana's just trying to talk to her and help her. And she's like, I thought you were doing better. And she tells her that she was, but then she got in the accident and it got bad. Although now she's clean because, she can't get high. So, which isn't probably really what Dana wants to hear, but yeah, at least she's not getting high. Bill says Dreamcatchers are often associated with this. Oh, wait, that's what I've already put up. It came.
You know what I think would be.
You retyped it. Okay. Okay, he did retype it. That's not.
Oh.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I was talking
about. It would be interesting.
Doctor Who, I don't remember.
What I think would be interesting here is since the drugs don't do anything for her anymore, and she needs that release, I could see her starting to cut herself just to feel something for the moment and then see it heal. I could see. Well, I think they may show us cutting herself.
They might.
Yeah, so I think that would be interesting.
And sorry. This is gonna make me mad because I want to know what it is that I'm thinking of. And Nancy, that's what it is. And Nancy, the African spider god. I'm sorry. That's what I automatically thought about when he was talking about it. I'm like, what is the name of this? Because it was in Doctor Who, and I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was called.
Right.
Nancy. And probably has nothing to do with this. I just got off on a tangent there. Sorry. But yeah, I agree with you. We might see her trying to hurt herself, or that she did hurt herself, or we don't know.
See, with people who cut themselves, people do it for different reasons, but sometimes it's a release of emotion. Like if a person is very depressed and they're like numb, they don't feel things because they're so numb, they'll cut themselves to have relief. So I'm thinking if she is so emotionally not contained, she reminds me of her dad in that way. Like he's very explosive, right? Wayne is very explosive. She can be explosive. Like when she gets angry, she could be very explosive. So she was using drugs, I think, to calm herself down, to medicate herself. And now she can't, so she may start cutting herself. That's why I say it. She needs that release.
Yeah,
so I think she might do that.
That could happen. Definitely could happen. But Dana's asking her about how she got that many pills. She says she got them from the pain clinic. If you have that much money, they don't care. And then she's like, well, where did you get the money from? And is this connected to your debt? So, yeah, she thinks that maybe M overdosed. I mean, she seems to think that M either unalived herself on purpose, which could have been, jumped off the bridge, whatever, or that she overdosed, whether it was intentionally or not, I don't know. But that is, of course, Dana's first thoughts. Which, look, I don't blame Dana. I would probably think the same thing the way she's acting. So I get it, and I feel like I get M's upset and doesn't want to hear that, but I kind of feel like maybe she should be saying, okay, explaining a little more like what happened, because Dana doesn't know. I mean, I know she doesn't know how she died, but I mean, maybe if she talked to Dana about how it was going before all this went down, it might help Dana to understand, because she never came to her and she kind of wants her to now. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think M really is very confused about how she died, which we find out afterwards that she doesn't really remember how she
doesn't
died.
know.
And she's not a very communicative person. I mean, she doesn't really talk about things. Dana talks. Dana likes to talk, and
The other
she's a
thing
cop.
she does, but the other thing I wanted to ask you what you thought about, is I'm looking at these notes and wondering. Em had said that after the accident, it got bad. It does make me wonder if she breaks bones really, really easy, right?
Yeah.
And she was in a car accident. I wouldn't have been surprised if she was in a lot of pain because of the accident and she was on like oxy or something. And that, because isn't that what they say they are? I think they say they're oxy. I don't know. But my point is she could have gotten like addicted to painkillers and then started taking other drugs because of it, and that kind
Oh
of thing.
yeah, absolutely.
They don't
Yes.
say that, but it makes me wonder how she says it got worse after the accident. I mean, I kind of assumed that she meant when I went to the, because she says later that like her friend or something told her that it would help her get closure going to the bridge. I kind of assumed that she meant after the accident she was more depressed and it got worse, but she could have meant like I started taking drugs after that because I was hurt. We don't really know.
Yeah, I kind of think it's a combination because she was the one that was driving the car, and
Yeah.
that's when her mother died in the car accident. So she has a lot of guilt, right? She probably
Yeah.
blames herself. And was she drugged when she was driving? Did they mention that? Was she high?
I don't no, I don't think so. I assume that all the stuff with being high probably happened after her mother died. I mean, I guess maybe not, but I sort of assumed
I
it
kind
did.
of got the
Maybe
impression
that
she
was
may
the
have been
wrong
high
assumption.
when she was driving. I can be wrong about that, but I kind of got
Um,
that impression. Um,
Interesting. I didn't, but I mean,
okay.
I guess it could be. I don't know.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, you may be right. I don't remember, but she was taking Molly's, they said. She was
yeah,
taking, was
and
she taking Oxy? I don't remember them
Bill
saying
said it
Oxy.
was oxy and other drugs. I think the depression and drug use came after her mother's death. That's like the impression I got. I mean, I'm not sure saying that she maybe didn't take some drugs beforehand, but I think it got out of hand after her mother's death. That's for
I
sure.
think that she probably, because she's had this condition her whole life, she probably was taking, she probably became addicted to taking drugs because she may
She
have been
might
on
have, yeah.
painkillers. And she probably was depressed too. I mean, having this condition as a kid. So she probably had it already. But then when the mother died, it probably got worse, much worse.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
that's why she went back to the bridge that night for some kind of closure. And that's when, unfortunately, she died.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
But
yeah, she does tell her that she can't sleep, but that she doesn't remember exactly what happened. And that's where I know sometimes like things are meant like to be comedic, but I kind of wonder like, are they really appropriate to put in a TV show? You know what I mean? Because like I'm reading this and I'm reading my notes and like Dana called her emo and I'm thinking like she's telling you about all the things that are wrong with her and that she was depressed and you're worried she committed suicide and then like you're just joking about it. Like
well,
I get
that's her dad.
joke
Isn't
about
that
things.
isn't that her dad?
Yeah, but people also
Insensitive.
joke to deal with
Insensitive.
things. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But I think
It's
it was more
it's it's
meant.
a family problem.
Yeah, it was
No, I
more.
agree with you, Jamie, because then she clammed up, right? I
Yeah, I
agree
mean,
with
it was definitely meant as a like a sarcastic comedic moment. But just reading it back and thinking about it, I'm kind of thinking that wasn't really funny. She said it and she shouldn't have said it. But it is what
And
it
she
is.
may have said it out of her own nervousness too,
But yeah,
because
that's
I
what
mean,
I
think about it. You're
said.
talking to your dead sister
Sometimes you
about how
make
she
jokes
died.
trying to deal with stuff. So
I think it's hard for Dana because Dana is the opposite of her father. I mean, this is my take on it. She feels all the emotion, but she swallows it. She's afraid to show it. So when she does show it, she gets a little emotional. That's Dana.
yeah.
While M is very explosive like her dad.
Hmm.
So they handle it differently.
Hmm. That's fair. Um, so Dana wants her to tell her something. And that's where she says that she went to the bridge on revival day because it was their mother's birthday. This is what I was talking about. Her friend said it was a good idea to get closure there. And then she woke up near the waterfall. And Dana does say you skipped a bunch of details. Yeah, but she clearly doesn't remember the details. said she saw a car headlight or something. Dana asked if it could have been a hit and run. She doesn't know, but she does say that she, she didn't do it to herself. She knows she wouldn't. And Dana wants her to come to the station because Dana wants to find out if she was murdered, how she was murdered, what happened. She's like, I'm a cop. I have the possibility to figure this shit out. Let's do it.
Right.
So, yeah. And then you can see Kay was hiding in the closet. How do you like, I just now noticed that the chicken.
Oh, yeah. So that means that she's like a chicken. She's a scaredy cat.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So they go to the station. Dana gives her money and like tells her to go get chocolate or whatever because she's going to go talk to their father. And then while she's doing that, there's where she's at the vending machine. I think I have a picture. Yeah, she sees the car keys and she's like, "Ooh, this sounds like more fun." I'm going to completely disregard everything you just told me. I get stealing. Not that you should, but I understand stealing your sister's car. But I think she's kind of like not thinking through the fact she's also stealing a cop car, which is a very, very, very bad. You shouldn't be doing that thing. You're going to get in trouble,
But she's somebody, it goes back to what we were saying before. She's very impulsive and she's not thinking rationally.
No, she's not. But you would think that you'd maybe think a second before you steal a cop car, whether it's your sister's or not. I'm just saying.
I think that's her problem. I don't think she thinks. I think she just jumps before thinking it out.
Yeah.
Well, like having an affair with that guy who's married. She just probably jumped into the whole thing. She just jumps into things.
Yeah, but she's also like kind of on a destructive spiral too. And right now she can't even get her hits.
Yeah. I think she's been on a destructive spiral since the mother passed away.
Yes, I would agree with that. You're right, Bill. She's impulsive. All right. So she talks to.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just getting all these connections that I just want to verbalize. Like,
oh, go ahead.
It's the therapist in me. Dana has to be the good girl. She's got to be the good kid, right? Because M is such a bad kid. But M is protected by the dad because she has that bone disease. So it's like we have to protect her, but it's okay that she's bad. While Dana tries to be the good one, and it's not appreciated. Her father just completely disrespects her. So I just I just wanted to make that connection.
So I think it's not enough. Like she's always tried to probably be that perfect kid because of what's wrong with her sister.
Yes.
And her father doesn't seem to recognize it, I guess.
Right. So, nothing she does is ever good enough for him. Right.
Yeah. Bill says therapy is awesome. Dana is filling the void, but carrying all the weight. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And he doesn't even appreciate, I feel like, what she does.
No.
He's always busy complaining about what she doesn't do.
Right, because M is like the favored child in a way. She's the one that has to be protected from everything. He has to protect her, but he can unleash his anger and frustration on Dana.
Yes. Yeah, and she's probably gotten that all her life too.
Yes.
All right. So Dana goes to talk to this guy his name is McCrae. I'm assuming that's his last name, Deputy McCrae. How do you like his tail there?
He's a weird looking guy.
Yeah, he is. But she asks, I think they really get stereotypical about this small town podunk. I get that opinion with this show a lot. So anyway, she asks him about the pill stash. This is where he says they're oxy. So that's why I said like maybe she originally took them because she was in pain. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, well, how much would it cost to get this many? And says that she got it from a pain clinic. He's like, no, you wouldn't buy that many from a pain clinic. Like you're either dealing drugs or stealing them. And he's like, I'm not doing your job for you. But he gives her a file on those in Wausau that were arrested for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way she maybe can figure it out. But he says, you shake up the can, be prepared for the fizz. How do you like That's so lame, but it's funny. Bill says the death of the mother has fractured his family. Sheriff probably blames Dana for their mother's death, even though M was driving. Yeah, maybe Dana let her drive. I mean,
Yeah.
could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
I agree with that. Because Dana is the perfect scapegoat.
She is. She is. Whoops. I'm clicking on the picture to take the quote down instead of the quote. Like looking at it, like, why is it not coming off? Because I'm clicking the wrong thing. So then this is where she goes to talk to her because she realizes M took her car. And she's like, everybody's gone because of the manhunt. Sorry, the only person left is Ibrahim. So now she's got to ask him for his car so she can go chasing after Dana, or chasing after, M. And so yeah, she's gonna go out to him. Now we have Aaron's wife, who we find out I don't think they actually say, but you're definitely it's definitely implied that she has cancer, the way they've done it. I don't know if they say it or not, but this is the guy she was having an affair with, the professor. That's his wife. And yeah, they're talking about going to the bar. So yeah, makes him even worse, right? He's having an affair not only on his wife, but like his sick wife. That's just awful. It was awful already, but now it's more awful.
Did you get the impression that she was a reviver?
I don't know.
I kind of thought that
impression, but I guess it's possible.
I mean, she could have had cancer and died, and then she came back. I don't know. I just had that feeling that she was a reviver.
She could be. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't necessarily get that impression, but either way, he goes to okay, Tanema was reading what that said. Either way, he goes to the bar. I'm not sure why he's taking her to the bar. They're going to the bar. And M is following. And so she goes in to follow him in here to the bar. And there you see the start of the fight, because she's watching on the news that woman it's about the reviver killing people, and she's making nasty comments about revivers. And M hears her, but M's just sitting there minding her own business. Well, not minding her business. I mean, she is stalking her ex-boyfriend, but Bill says the woman, Aaron's wife's name is Nathia. I guess you pronounce it Nathia. Sick, dying, or a reviver. She also seems to know more. Maybe we really didn't get much on her at all.
Yeah.
Just that little tiny bit.
Yeah, she didn't say much.
No. So we'll have to find out. But meanwhile, Ibrahim helps out Dana, which he don't seem to mind too much. Although he does say, shouldn't we be looking for Arlene? Like, she's like, no, because she cares more about her kid. And this is where that line is. She says something like, shouldn't you be looking for a Mabiba or whatever, however she says amoeba. And then, I don't know, makes a joke about it. That was cute. I like that. I like them together. I think they're cute.
Yeah.
But this is where she goes, and these scenes kind of go back and forth. She goes into explaining to him about her sister and that she kind of led a sheltered life because she has this disease, this brittle bone disease, and that, she hasn't been able to do a lot of things because of that. And she says, I don't think she's even had a boyfriend. And, meanwhile, she's having an affair with a man, which was, I think, why they did it that way, that she said it. And then they show her spine on her ex-boyfriend. So, yeah, back at Nella's, the bar, Dana is still interested in.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And I think they're cute. I like them. I ship them.
I ship them too.
Good. But M has followed Aaron to the bathroom. She's cornering him. I'm guessing that, is this supposed to be their place that they were supposed to meet, or did she just follow him there? They didn't really explain that for sure. I wasn't sure about that.
She followed him there.
Because he said he was going to meet her at their place. When I watched this the first time, I just assumed that. And then I realized now, like watching it back, well, wait, no, because he was there with his wife. He wouldn't bring his wife to meet his girlfriend. So that doesn't make tons of sense.
I thought that they were meeting in that dark alley, wherever that was, where she was sitting there looking at the ring.
Oh, and he just didn't show up. Yeah. That makes sense. So she's like, I'm coming after you. You don't show up.
Right.
So yeah, she corners him. And Aaron stood her up. I agree. I just hadn't thought that through the first time, but I definitely agree.
That's okay. I mean, it could have been afterwards too. Maybe they were supposed to meet and then she ended up in that place by herself. That's possible.
Yeah, maybe. But either
But,
way, it
but there
must not
was a
have
shadowy
been.
figure watching her. And I assumed it was Aaron who chickened out at the last second and walked away, but it may not have been. It may have
Maybe.
been that guy Blaine for all we know.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a picture. Let me see. If I have this one of her in the car. I think that's all I have about. I don't know. But either way, he wouldn't have brought his wife to meet his girlfriend, so he must
No,
have not intended to do it. So
right.
she goes after him to see him, and he thinks that she wants to get back together. She's like, "No, I don't want to get back together with you. I just want to know what happened." And she explains that she has the ring that she threw up, that she thinks is his ring, that she found when she woke up. And he's like, "Whoops, won't go so far." He's like, "It's not my ring. See, I have a ring." And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but he's like, "I have a ring. It's not mine." But yeah, he realizes, well, first he says that he hasn't gotten any calls or anything from her because he blocked her calls back, the day, well, basically the day she died, that he started blocking her calls and her emails because she was harassing him. Um, yeah, it makes it sound like he tried to break up with her and she was not having it. I mean, that's
Right.
definitely the picture it's implying. But
And
yeah,
it's funny she doesn't remember any of this.
she doesn't. I assume, I don't know. I mean, maybe they like lose memory from so long before their death too. I don't know. Maybe she hit her head
Maybe.
when she
Or
died.
or maybe he's lying.
Yeah, he could be lying. That's true. But either way, he's basically like, you got to quit following me. And but he figures out from what she's saying that she woke up at the bridge and everything that she must be a reviver. And she's just like, "Don't tell anybody about me." And I mean, he seems like he may not. He's kind of like, "I'm sorry this happened to you," is pretty much what he says. Like he's shocked to see. I mean, did he care about her once? I don't know. Maybe they were just sleeping together. It's hard to tell. But yeah,
Well,
he
if
get it.
he would blow the whistle on her, she would tell his wife they were having an affair.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. So
Right.
maybe he's not
So
being
it's
nice.
like she knows
Yeah.
that he can't
Yeah,
admit anything.
it may not be him being nice. It may just be he's worried.
Right. Yes.
But I don't know. He definitely, to me, seems shocked she's a reviver. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming he didn't kill her. Or if he did kill her, he thought he like didn't quite kill her type of thing. Not that she came back to life and he's like, "Wait, I killed you. I didn't realize I actually killed you. I thought I just made a mistake and you almost died," type of thing. I don't know. But it to me means that he probably didn't do it. Does he know something? Is he involved? I don't know. But he definitely seemed legitimately shocked when he found out. Yeah, and I mean he does have a ring. I don't know that he would like have a wedding ring if it was his wedding ring, but I don't know.
But he could have gone out and bought another one.
He could have, definitely could have,
I
but
mean, it's a very simple thing to buy. It's a simple band, right?
yeah, I was gonna
So
say it's also a plain gold band without anything on it. So yeah,
exactly.
it wouldn't be that hard.
It's
But anyway,
possible that he wasn't he is sus.
yeah, he
I think he
definitely
knows
is.
more than he's saying. Yes.
I agree. So back in the car here, this is where Dana and him were talking about what happened. Like I said, it kind of goes back and forth. She tells him about how Revival Day was her mother's birthday and that it had been 2 years since the accident. They were both in the car, but M was the one driving. So M obviously holds a lot of guilt. And she says, she was already isolated because of her condition. And then after this happened, she didn't deal with it well. She doesn't know she ever dealt with it. So she's kind of, opening up to him. And then we have this woman again who is busy bad mouthing the revivers and saying, "Oh, they should stay dead," and all this. And M,
She made
who,
this horrible comment. They died because God
oh
wanted them.
yeah, they died because God wanted them dead or something like that. And the fact of the matter is, M is like already this close to snapping. Like, that was not what she needed. So, oh, that's true. Obsessed, fatal attraction, the crush. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Do you think that she was? I mean, she definitely seems like she was stalking him. Sorry, just to go back to the thing with Aaron. I don't really look. He was wrong for having an affair with her. He's married and she's a student. I'm not saying that part wasn't 100% his fault, I mean, she was old enough to know better, but it was still his fault. I mean, you don't do that. But I understand, like, if he was getting a bit weirded out, she does seem like she was getting too stalkery, obsessive-y,
Mhm.
and obsessive-y, that's not a word. I mean, now maybe she's not doing it for that reason because she really is trying to find out how she died. But like, it
Right.
sounds like before that, she was totally stalking him. But she doesn't remember it. So it may also just be the idea of she was high, so she called him a bunch of times too. We don't really
Right,
know.
exactly. And
People don't know what they do when they get high a lot of times.
also at the end of the episode when Dana's speaking to her roommate, she says, "I know who did it." Maybe she thinks it's this guy Aaron that did it. It doesn't mean he is, but he may become a
Right.
suspect. He's going to be a
Yeah,
suspect,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Just because they think they know doesn't mean they know.
Exactly.
But yeah. Anyway, after that woman said that, she's like, "That's enough." And the thing is I feel like M, as much as she knows she can get hurt and stuff, M probably. I mean, look, I don't know how old she's supposed to be, 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
So she's not necessarily a teenager, but she's still a young adult. She's still going to make dumb decisions. Maybe not as
Hmm.
dumb as Ellie, but going to make dumb decisions.
She had an affair with her
She
professor,
had
and
an
I'm
affair with
sure
her
he told her
professor.
he whispered sweet nothings in her ear and made
Oh,
her feel that he cared about her. And,
yeah,
and she's a young girl who's impulsive. And
right.
yeah,
But
she
I'm
probably took
saying,
the breakup really bad.
right. But what I was going to say is adding to that impulsiveness now, I feel like she probably feels this invincibility now because she kind of is invincible. So it's like she can find, I don't know, because like I said, I don't know that I would go punching somebody if I knew how bad it was going to hurt to break my bones. But if you know you're going to heal in a couple minutes, I mean, maybe she like has never been able to stand up for herself in this way because
Exactly.
she'd always be afraid they'd fight back. And it's kind of like,
Yes.
she can't hurt me. So yeah, she
This is her
punches her.
chance to be like Superwoman, like
Yeah.
invincible. Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, in addition to that, don't forget, she's still very angry about what's happened to her. So the
She is.
drugs don't take it away. So
Yeah.
she's got to get out this energy. So
She
she
does.
provokes a fight with this woman
I
because she
kind of,
wants this woman to hit her.
she wants to feel something.
She wants to feel something, right?
I have to though kind of question like the fact that this young girl, okay, granted, she hit her first. I'm not saying she wasn't in the wrong. She definitely was in the wrong. She walked up and whacked the woman. But like this woman beats the shit out of her to the sense to the fact she's a bloody pulp. I kind
Right.
of have a problem with the fact that this young girl, who's clearly much younger than this woman, much smaller than this woman, that she's laying bloody on the floor and nobody does anything. Nobody says anything. Nobody stops her like for a while. And yeah, they all just kind of stood there because I think she finally like leaves, doesn't she? I don't think anybody stops her, does she? She just runs away. I can't
Well, this
remember.
guy, this who M or the
No,
woman.
to stop the woman. I
No,
don't think
he's
she
still in
stopped
the
her.
bar. She didn't leave.
And that's kind of my problem. Like, isn't there like well, not necessarily a bouncer, but usually a bar has some kind of security that would have been like,
Yeah,
no, no, this is not happening because
right.
a bar doesn't want to get sued. Again, I know this is a small town, but like, I live in a small town. I assume that I think even our bars have security. Not that I've really thought about it, but I think all bars have
Well,
security.
you
I
would
just
think
kind of,
somebody would have tried to stop it.
yeah,
There's several men in that room. You think somebody
yeah.
would say, "Hey, ladies, chill out,"
Yeah,
or
and that's kind of
something.
my point. Like, she's a young girl and she's a lot smaller than her. And she's being beaten to a bloody pulp and nobody does anything. So yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of have a problem with that.
I
And I mean, it
agree.
only
I agree.
lasted a couple seconds, so I guess it didn't matter. It's over. But yeah, I think that that part is a problem with the writing there, that they should have done something. Even this kid, who I'm calling him a kid. When you get older, you start calling adults kids. I still call them all kids. I'm like, you're younger than me. This guy, he
But
did
also,
get
don't
up,
don't
and maybe he would have tried to stop her. I don't know, but
but
didn't get
think
a chance.
about it. People are in a bar, they're drinking, their inhibitions are down, and all of a sudden they see this fight break out, and a lot of times people go into shock and they just watch what's going on. You
Yes,
know?
but there should be a security person there,
Yeah,
regardless, working
absolutely.
that's there for that purpose. But
But
yeah,
I
she
do think that
more
M
powerful.
wanted her to beat her. She
Oh,
wanted
I
to
think
feel
she did
something.
too.
Yeah.
She can't feel the drugs. She wants to feel pain some other way. I would
Yes.
agree with that. It's the same thing like you said about if somebody cutting themselves. It's kind of
Exactly. Right.
wanting that release, that adrenaline, that yeah.
Hmm.
So I agree. But like I said, he may have tried to intervene. We don't know. I mean, he stood up, but she was already out of there at that point. And then
Right.
he helps her out, I think. Yeah, he's the one that helps her out. But either way, it's already ended at this point. And the bartender does at least call her sister. I have to give her credit for that, but I feel like she should have done a little bit more than that. But she did call her sister at least. And here
Who is
is
the police? Who is the
who's the
police?
police. Yeah, well, that's true. So then we have Rhodey here, who let's see, who helps her out of the bar. And Rhodey knows that she's a reviver because he saw her heal. He says that nobody else saw it. He's like, you don't gotta worry, they didn't see it. I just know it because I'm a reviver. So I know the signs, is basically what he said. And he gives her his flyer for his band. He wants her to come see, called November Dismember.
That's some name for a
band. Yeah, it's an emo punk band, I guess it sounds like. But she's like, can you get me out of here? I'm trying to avoid law enforcement for reasons. Which, well, she's trying to avoid her sister too. But this is again like bad decision making. Like, I'm not saying this kid is bad. I have no idea, but like, she doesn't know him, and she's like, take me away from here. I have no clue who you are. You could be a serial killer, but save me.
That's her impulsivity. Yeah, this is her whole problem. She is somebody who really can't control her emotions, and she has very poor judgment. Very poor.
Although, again, I will say she probably does feel invincible. Like, this person can't hurt me. There's nothing they're going to do that's going to be worse than what's already happened. I'm already dead.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Jamie. You're right.
And I'm not saying that that's accurate, but I could see a young person who's grown up the way she does thinking.
And she met somebody who's a reviver like her, so he understands her.
Yeah.
And but maybe she needs that.
I agree. And I understand why she went off with him. And he seems like an okay kid. I'm just saying that, like, we don't really know. It just makes me think of, like, with Ellie, when what Tess said to her, like, you may not be able to be infected, but that doesn't mean they can't rip you apart. And I'm just saying, like, just because she can't die doesn't mean something bad couldn't happen to her, I don't think that's where it's going. I'm just making a point.
Right.
But
she finally met somebody who's a reviver.
Yeah, so I understand her going off with them.
Yeah, so she feels this guy can explain things to her. He could protect her. He knows how to navigate the world now.
Yeah, it's also a TV show that's not a Lifetime movie, so it's probably okay.
Right.
If it was a Lifetime movie, I'd be like, no, girl, don't get in. Like, no, don't do that. But yeah,
she's probably the safest with him. Think about it. Yeah, he's been navigating this for a while. He kind of knows what to do.
Yeah, you're totally right. So she goes and grabs. They just show that because that was the whole thing with the jacket in the beginning of the first episode that Dana shoved into her donation box that M takes out of her car that's got like the skeleton on it, the hoodie that's kind of like the iconic, I guess, from the show, because it's, I think, in the comics. So yeah, but she leaves Dana a note at least. She's like, I know, thank you, Bill. I thought I was funny too for one. I even thought I made a good joke. No, I hate those Lifetime movies. My mom watches them all the time. I was like, no, because they're always about like people either having an affair or kidnapping somebody. Like, why? Hallmark movies. I like Hallmark movies, but a lot of the Lifetime movies, some of them I don't always love. Now, the romantic Hallmark ones, I'm okay with them. But yeah, anyway, so she at least has the decency to leave her sister a note saying, there's the hoodie, saying, I'll be fine. Don't come after me. Basically, I think is what the note says, something to that effect. She leaves her the chocolate, and then she does what I think was really stupid, leaving her phone, because, we want to make it absolutely so nobody can find us if you get murdered type of thing. But again, she can't be murdered, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, Dana is doesn't know where she's at. I mean, well, she knows she's going to with that.
See, and again, this is like
club or whatever.
This is M dumping on her sister. Here your sister's trying to help you, and you just take off with this guy and tell her you need space. That's awful.
Well, again, I think it's the age, and I think it's because she hasn't had that independence, and now she's taking it, whether they like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, she's been away at college, but she's not. They've still been, I think, hovering. Yeah, M is two-shouldered. I agree,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that can be detrimental.
Yeah.
But anyway, Abraham takes her to the bar. That's where she finds the note, and she's like, "We should do this again." And he's like, "Do what? Take my car or whatever." I forget exactly what he said, but something about like,
No, me giving you a ride.
yeah, me giving you a ride, and like, I don't think that's what she meant. They're trying. They're both awkward.
They're both trying. He's trying to figure out what she wants.
Yeah. But yeah, she gets the note saying that her sister wants space, and she got her car back. So the end. So okay, wait, that's where she sees a note. Need some space. Don't come looking for me. I'll find you when I'm ready.
But she writes that. So in other words, she's probably going to end up at that event. So
yeah,
Dana
so
knows she's going to be there.
Yeah, she's kind of saying, if you need to find me, if you really need to find me, I'll be here, but please don't come bug me unless there's really a reason.
Right.
It's kind of what that's implying. So
and she went to the candy bar and she said, "I'm still mad anyway."
Yeah, but you got me the candy bar, so that makes up for it. I mean, that's kind of what they're trying to say. So yeah, Dana does look at the files finally about the drug arrests, and Kay is, and I think it looks like the picture I took maybe didn't show. Okay, there's his Kay. I'm throwing it says, and so yeah, she is going to go pay Kay a visit. And she goes to see her and talk to her. And she is trying to find a. Oh, excuse me. I don't think. Do I have the part about the bar? Hold on. Yeah, I do. Okay, so she's trying to find out from Kay what happened because since she was in the files, she thinks maybe she gave her sister the drugs. And Kay tells her that no, she was strung out and depressed, and she wanted to help her get a quick fix. So yeah, she still gave her the drugs, but she wasn't trying to hurt her, I guess. But she also knows she's a reviver because she had listened in. We know that from when she was hiding earlier. And she starts saying like, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have taken her there. That I, something bad happened," is implying. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "If you gave her something that did something and she OD'd, that she's not the only one that's going to be dead." She's like, "You better tell me what happened." And I love though that she says something like "lady," da da da, and she goes, "Lady, I'm barely older than you are." Yeah. So meanwhile, Wayne has gone to the bar at Nella's, and she's kind of giving him some advice because he doesn't know how to deal with everything going on. And he calls the mayor, says he owes him a favor, and that's kind of the end of that scene. And then we go back to Kay. Sorry.
Now let me just interrupt you for a moment. When he said, "You owe me a favor," is it about that guy Blaine, you think?
No, I don't know. I kind of assume it has something to do with the revivers, but I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she's threatening Kay, and this is where Kay says, "You're asking the wrong questions." And she says, "I know who killed her." So whatever happened when she took her somewhere to get a fix, she thinks that's what happened to M. Whether that's accurate, I don't know, but that's what she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the end.
But her roommate says, I know who did it.
Yeah.
I know she was killed.
Yeah. So she thinks she knows who murdered her, and she's telling Dana that she's asking the wrong questions.
Right. Now, why would she think that she was killed?
I'm assuming whatever happened where she took Dana to get a fix, from going by what she said. She said she took her somewhere to help her get a quick fix because she was depressed. So yeah, I don't know. Something to do with the drugs. She thinks it's connected. Drug dealer, maybe. I don't know.
Unless maybe she was involved in it.
I don't know. I'm assuming that Dana will be like, "You better tell me the rest of it." If this was a Lifetime movie, Jade would come out.
Probably. That's funny. We have to combine these two shows together, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. But yeah, she thinks she knows who killed M. So I guess the next thing is going to be Dana questioning her, who is it? And but yeah, I'm assuming it has something to do with the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it could be. You're right. It could be any of those people: drug dealer, Blaine, Aaron. I mean, she was her friend. She might have known she was having an affair with that guy.
She probably did know, and I think she's going to say it's him, and Dana's going to go and talk to him, and that whole thing is going to come out. Though I don't think he actually did it, though, but
No,
he
I
does
don't.
know something. And the roommate didn't do it, but she knows something. But it's
Yeah,
interesting that M has no memory at all of what happened to her that night. All she
yeah.
remembers is doing drugs and sitting on the bridge.
Well, somebody could have killed her from behind or something, but also she and whatever she like wounds she had from being killed would have like disappeared. So you wouldn't know exactly in that sense. But also, if she's that high, she might not have known what happened either just because she was high.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But it could be any of those people. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they're moving the story along though. They're not dragging out the murder or whatever. Or it doesn't seem like they are. I guess we don't know that they're going to necessarily answer it. Bill was saying Sheriff Wayne has done something for the mayor. It's in two parts here because he put governor, but
Yeah, he said you owe me something. Like I need a favor from you.
yeah, he's probably given him a favor before. We don't know what it is, but we'll.
I don't know. I thought it was related to that guy Blaine because they kind of left that hanging. Like, how does Wayne know Blaine?
Fit in, yeah.
How does
Yeah,
this fit in?
it does seem very strange to me that he finds Blaine with the baby and doesn't question it. He doesn't
Yeah.
like, get scared, like, why did you have the baby? Like, it that's why I said to me, it felt like he's like, oh, it's just Blaine. Like, well, he must have run into her on the way out or whatever because he wouldn't do anything. Like that's definitely the opinion I got that he knows this guy, somewhat trusts the guy, but maybe thinks he's a little off and that people maybe don't treat him right. I don't know. That's definitely the opinion I got.
But
Whether
that's
that's
like
I don't know.
police 101, I
It
would
is.
think. If you know somebody
Well,
has information that you need, you're going to want to talk to them, right? How
yes.
did you get this baby? Did she say something to you? Did she give you the baby? Where did she go? What did she say? Something.
But like I said, they don't use gloves, so they're not going to be
Right, right.
either. Catch this episode. Did they pull back on the primal need to handle loose teeth with bare hands? No, but still, he's clearly not doing the job he should be investigating. Let's put it that way. Blaine may have run for office and Wayne helped the other guy get in office. Maybe, yeah, maybe he helped the mayor. That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be what he helped him with, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know.
But this guy Blaine is very mysterious. Again, I just find it really weird that he ended up in that garage holding that baby. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, but I tend to
I
think
think
it's
that's a writing
more
flaw,
of a
though.
sloppy writing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's something important, but I guess it could be. We shall find out. Hopefully soon.
Do we see a trailer for the next episode? Did you see one?
I didn't have it. I don't know because I didn't watch it when it was on live, so I don't know. I'm sure there is one on sci-fi, but you can't. The problem is we can't watch it while we're doing the live stream because it'll pick up the sound.
Oh, okay, right.
I guess I could try to get it and mute it while I'm doing it, and then I can tell you what's in it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because I'd like to see the trailer for the next episode.
Yeah, I'm curious what's in it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put on the trailer and watch it on my other monitor while you're talking to me.
Okay.
And we'll see. I gotta do it muted though. I'm guessing I'm just gonna be careful about what I say because I know more that's going on.
In the meantime,
Dana goes. I'm assuming Dana goes to find her. It shows her at that guy's. It shows M at that guy's thing. The performer. I can't remember his name now. Rhodey. It looks like Dana maybe goes there, and Dana confronts somebody that he thinks maybe is involved, but we haven't seen yet. So it's just the guy. I'm trying to see. It has the Arlene in the church. I think she's attacking somebody. So it's hard to watch without sound.
Wow.
Yeah. Wayne's in the church and Arlene's walking past all of a sudden. And so she's probably going to attack somebody else. Yeah. And it shows that kid at his concert. I'm still calling him a kid. I know he's not, but it shows him at his concert. Yeah, other than that, it shows the little girl and her family. So it's kind of hard to know exactly what it is without, actually, maybe there's captions. That would be a smart thing if I put that's what I should have done. Okay. They're talking about the girl coming back.
Well, can you show it with the captions and no sound?
No, because it's still video.
Oh,
they're talking about if any revivers show signs of aggressive or violence, you have my authority to remove them. It's another woman they're talking to, another person in the government. She's saying, I was on the bridge, something bad happened. Dana's saying, back off my family. And he's saying, there's going to be, if you do anything, there'll be another dead Cypress. So yeah, we'll have that tells you a little bit. I don't know that it tells you a lot, but it tells you a little bit. But yeah, Dana, whoever it is, Dana thinks that she knows who it is, and she's going to go talk to that person. That would be, I'd say, the takeaway from that, and that Arlene comes to the church and probably attacks people, I'm guessing.
Oh, wow.
What would she be doing? She walks into the church in their nightgown for no reason. Yes. Is that the governor? Okay. I wasn't sure what she was. The governor's woman. She'll be authority to Wayne to capture, remove revivers. I don't remember the name of the character, but yes, there is a woman there in the clip, and she's saying that she gives Wayne the authority to do whatever. So yeah, I'm guessing that it will not be great for the revivers, that part's moving forward. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, do you?
We know that there's one reviver that's violent, but that isn't fair to the rest of the revivers.
Exactly.
It's like anything else when you see a show with aliens. Like, one alien can be bad. It doesn't mean they're all bad. Just like one human can be bad, it doesn't mean they're all bad. Like, whether they're alive or dead, people are good, people are bad. It's not fair.
Right. So in a way, Wayne wanting everyone to be quarantined somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not right. Because everybody else is calm, right?
Yeah, and I think it's going
to
cause mass panic, and it's going to cause other people to take matters into their own hands. I think that's a given.
Yeah. I think the registry is a good idea, and I think them mandating that they go to the doctor for periodic health checks, I think, is a good idea as well. Because you're looking for infectious disease, you're looking for certain things.
Yeah, I feel like in a way it's not fair to force people to be on a registry, but I understand for safety doing it. Like, what would maybe, in my opinion, be good is if they were forced to be on a registry and like the government knew who they were, the cops knew who they were, but like they didn't have to reveal to other people.
Yes.
That would be, to me, what would make a little more sense.
Yes. I agree. But I don't agree with rounding them up and putting them in a quarantine. No.
I don't either. But I don't know. I said it makes me think a lot about X-Men, because I think it's going to be that type of story of how these people are treated different. Like you said, marginalized people. I mean, if they're forced to reveal that they're a reviver, I mean, it's like anything else. There's going to be people that are going to be scared, and people that are going to be like, you're not taking care of this, so I'm going to take care of it, whether they're really violent or not. I mean, so far we know one violent. That's why I think it's a bad idea. And
they're going to be discriminated against.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of hatred and prejudice against them. And we saw with the little girl in school right away, the kids were teasing her. She's different from them. They were laughing at her. And that's only going to get worse for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to go well for the revivers. Bill says Arlene is sick, but she may have been experimented on. Maybe. We don't know. Something, or maybe it had something to do with if she did have like a mental. It was like they made it seem like the woman and man that she was with, like that they said, oh, it was for her own safety. She doesn't know what she's doing. Like, I assume she had Alzheimer's or something.
Yes. And maybe that's why she went and picked up the baby, because it's something she remembered, being a mom, having a baby. I can see that she had Alzheimer's or dementia, and she was violent and now it's exacerbated. It's even worse.
Because I know Karen and I were also talking about that the other night, that like, you know, people with dementia can be violent. Maybe not that violent, but you know, it
They
could.
can, well, yeah, not, I don't think anyone can be that violent,
No,
but
but it
people with
could.
Alzheimer's, they can be very violent. They're known to hit their caregivers. They could be very violent. Yes.
Yeah, so it definitely could escalate it, and it seems like maybe she had like was stronger or something after it happened. I don't know.
Hmm.
Bill says, I think Dana finds M's drug dealer. Yeah, probably. That would be my guess. Because it definitely shows her confronting somebody. So I would assume that that's a good guess, but I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea that they can tell, like I said, this kind of story about like the other not being treated equally, about rounding up. Like it's, I mean, these kind of things they happen in real life, or they have
Yes.
happened in the past, and it's awful. But I like that they can kind of tell this sort of story in a sci-fi lens, but that it makes it very relatable to,
Yeah.
you know, real stuff.
I like that aspect too. I really do. I like, because it seems very real in the sense where M was a sheltered child because
Mhm,
of her health issues, her bone disease, and
mhm.
the father is overprotective, and then he loses his wife, and who knows, the mother maybe was like the backbone of the family. She may have been the mediator, she may have been the peacemaker, maybe she was the one that nurtured everybody. I mean, again, I don't know, I'm just
But
speculating.
yeah, I know. What I want to know, and I'm wondering if we're going to find out, because we might not. I mean, like in The Walking Dead, one of the things we don't know and we'll never know, and they've even said, you know, we're never going to tell you this, is how it, like, why it started, how it started. I
Yeah,
do hope that we find out why everybody came back. Like, that's something that I'm interested in finding out. Do you need to? No, but I'd like to. I think that
I'd
that's an
like to, because I think that's the pull of a mystery box show. I think we want to understand what's going on.
yeah.
uh and well, I don't know, I'm kind of tending to think Blaine is an alien.
You think he's an alien? Is that
An
what you said?
alien. Hmm.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or if he's not an alien, he's somebody that has some kind of supernatural powers.
Yeah, I don't know. He's strange. He's definitely seems like he might, like, he's probably going to be like a cult leader or something.
Hmm.
'Cause he's always spouting off apocalyptic stuff.
Yes.
So
And again, he seemed to
well,
be where Arlene was at that moment with the baby. So that was
yeah,
very strange.
I had never. I think that's really an interesting take that I never thought of. I mean, I didn't think that this was that kind of show. I thought it was about zombies. I don't know that I expected to have aliens, but I like your idea that maybe she turned into him. I had not even thought of that. That's
Hmm.
interesting. I don't know
Hmm.
that it makes sense in my head, but it's an interesting, yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't thought about it. I never would have thought about it. That's like
See,
way out of left field for me. But that's cool. I'm saying, like, that's cool you
yeah,
thought of it. I never would have.
thank you. I don't see this show as a show about zombies at all. I just think Arlene is just that one reviver that it acts like a zombie.
Yeah.
But and actually she's not really a zombie because she's
Well, yeah,
alive again. I mean,
not so much
technically, right?
zombies as people coming back to life. Where I'm
Right.
calling them zombies. They're not really
I
not
mean,
zombies.
we're seeing it as a zombie show because of the way she's acting, but really she's not a zombie because she's actually alive, and but she's acting like a zombie. But
Yeah.
I think it's more aliens or some supernatural influence. That's what I think is going on here. And why now? And why during that 1 week, the people that died during that 1 week, why would they only be the ones who were revived?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I think 2 weeks, but yeah, same
Two
difference.
weeks.
Same difference.
Right.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's I hadn't really thought about it, but my point is I do want to know why they came back. Like, to me, that's important, whether you necessarily have to know it or not. I do want to know that.
And I think about the mother, M and Dana's mother. She died at that time 2 years earlier.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. You know, that could definitely be an important piece to the puzzle. Because, yeah, she died exactly 2 years
On that
before
day,
Revival
on
Day.
Revival Day. Mm-hmm.
Maybe their mother was somebody important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really
And
interesting.
maybe Blaine knew her, and that's why Wayne knows him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see if I didn't think. Yeah, that's really interesting that it's 2 years to the day. I hadn't thought about that. Like I just thought of it as like it was the anniversary, but not thinking about the fact that it was on Revival Day. That's really
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to
It's a
see if it
good
has
show.
relevance.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's a very
interesting.
good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. I mean, it's based on a comic book series. So you can, I'm sure, go find out. I mean, I suggest people don't do that, but because we don't know how close
Yeah,
they're going
you
to
don't
hold
want
the
to spoil
comic
it for
book.
yourself.
But
But there are definite parallels to From Here that I can see.
yeah, there's
Um,
something.
I mean, that guy Blaine, that Stephen Ogg. I mean, he does remind me of the Man in Yellow. He just shows up. I mean, he didn't kill anybody, but there's something about him that you get the sense he's evil and he
Mhm.
knows things. And of course, you have the sheriff, Sheriff Wayne.
Yeah,
Uh, so there's some elements here that there's some commonality, I think.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. But
So what are your predictions? What do you think? Well, I know you can't really, say much, but
what when I first saw this, I would say thinking about that. Yeah, I told you like what I wanted to know. I wanted to know why. Um, but yeah, I would have at this point. I was thinking that they probably were going to explain whatever it was that happened to Dana that makes Kay think that she knows who killed her. I mean, I think that part of the story is coming. Um,
and the wedding ring. Whose
and the
wedding
wedding
ring?
ring. Yeah, I would say that I wanted to know about the wedding ring and
Mm-hmm.
her ex-boyfriend, and was he involved, because he does seem like he knows something. I don't know that he killed her, because I do think he was surprised when he found out she was alive. But like I said, it's also possible that it could be a surprise, like I thought I killed her, I was surprised she was alive, and then I find out, wait, I did kill her. You never know. Could be that kind of surprise, like he just thought that she just made it, like almost died, and then finds out, wait, she did die. But no,
I think somehow she got his ring, his his
yeah,
his wedding ring. I don't know whether maybe they were together and he took his ring off. It was on the nightstand and she took it.
maybe.
Um,
To me, it like kind of makes me think like they were fighting or something and she grabbed it. But I don't think he killed her, because, like I said, I think he was shocked when he found out.
yeah, it would
Which
be
makes
too
me
obvious if he did
kill
it
her.
anyway.
Yeah.
No, I
But
don't
does
think he
he know
killed her.
something? I would say he probably knows something, though. He definitely is involved in some way, would be my
And I
guess.
think it definitely is his ring. That I believe.
Yeah.
And I
And I
believe
hope,
he got scared and he just went and bought a new one because he didn't want his wife to see he was missing a ring or whatever.
yeah.
But I think that's his ring. Yes.
My other prediction is that I think that the sheriff is probably, I mean, and this could be far coming, I don't know, but eventually I think the sheriff is going to have to change the way he thinks and feels, because that eventually he's going to have to find out about him, I would assume.
Yes.
And then like his whole world's going to be upside down, and it's going to be like, what do I do now? I've been telling everybody these people are dangerous. And
Yeah, he's going to have to do like a 180 and say,
yeah,
no, we don't have to quarantine anyone. No, no, you don't. We don't have
yeah.
to round them up anymore.
Yeah, let's look at the intro to Skull Web photo. Yeah, let's go back. Actually, let's bring up that photo.
Okay.
Assuming this isn't. Okay, wait. I still have it. I was gonna say that might be one of the photos I accidentally deleted in my files, but it's not. That's a long story. Let me open this with photos here. Let me make sure I get the right thing going on. Okay, see, the problem with this is I need to change my OBS on both of these things. Because since we go to different shows on our Fandom Access show, I made a frame like under, um, how do I explain this? I made the photo viewer inside the same scene so I could change it while I
Mhm.
had this screen up.
Right.
But I did not do that on this one because I didn't think we'd have a reason to switch. Oh no, wait, maybe I did. No, I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't change it in here. I gotta go into this photo thing 1 second. So guys, this is why the scene changes, because I have to change. I have to
I'm
find
going to
it.
comment on something Samuel says. He said, or
Oh, I
he
wish it
will
was red.
stick. Oh, okay. You're going to show it now. Okay.
No, I gotta switch it like that.
Okay.
Oh wait, it didn't switch it. Why is it not?
Oh, Samuel said.
No, that's not it. What
Samuel
the
said
hell?
he will stick to his principles and try to arrest his daughter. I don't think so, because his whole IMO is to protect her, to protect M, because of her bone disease. I think he's going to hide her. He's not going to let anyone know. And he's going to do a 180 and say, you know what, we don't have to round up these people. Let's just because one woman, Arlene, acted out, the others are fine. I think he's going to backtrack on that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that's probably more likely. And sorry, I can't line it up because I'd have to go through and cut it and everything while people are watching. So
Can you zoom in at all, or
yeah, I can zoom in.
okay. Okay, we could just scan it,
Yeah,
we could zoom in and just
talked about
scan
it
it.
some last week. I just was curious, like, is there anything more we need to add? I guess would be what I would ask. We have the ring, we have the sheriff's badge, cop car. I mean, she steals cop car, church, and the cross. I don't know if that has to do with maybe Arlene coming to the church.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Which part? I can, but you gotta tell me which part you want me to zoom in
Let's
on.
start with the left side first. You want to start with the left? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that skull.
Which would have made sense to me if it was like a horse skull, but I don't think it is, obviously, because it's got horns. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It's not the coyote either.
No, it's not. Yeah, sorry. I know you said this, but I hadn't put it up on the screen. I tend to think he's gonna backtrack. So this Bill's saying that this skull is the cult Baphomet, and it could be to do with Blaine's cult. If he has a cult, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Or goat. Yeah, it could be a goat. Although goats don't have horns, do they? Only demon goats have horns.
Yeah.
On air, I don't, that's a good question. They do. The only thing I can think of for the on air is they do keep showing like the news with like the little bits of information going out.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like that storytelling device, but why that on air tag's important other than that is a good question. I don't have an answer to.
Well, I think it helped M realize she was one of the revivers, because she came home and that news segment was on the TV.
Yeah.
I think it's a way of letting the audience know like the progression of the events that's going on.
That's true. That's why I said it's a good storytelling device. I like
Mm-hmm.
it. We also have 2 cop cars. I don't know why there's 2, maybe because of Dana and her father, but this is what I didn't notice. This here, that's a jump drive. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
So I would say somebody has information that they need to, I don't know, transfer.
Well, let me ask you something. That looks more like a USB cord. Yeah, that's a router. So maybe that's the USB cord for the router. It kind of looks connected to the router.
Well, they're all connected. To me, it looks more like a jump drive, but I don't know. I'm not even sure why there is a router, other than if it's like making reference to like the World Wide Web. I don't quite get the router thing.
That maybe it's worldwide. What's happening here?
Maybe it'll turn around and end up being worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
what is that? What is that? Where you're? Yeah.
That's the church.
Oh, that's the church. Okay.
Yeah. I think we should probably do like a special video on this.
Yeah. That would be great.
Factors. I don't know what the hell that thing is. Sorry, guys.
Can't make that out.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe in Photoshop you can lighten it, and then we could zoom in.
Well, there might be like it moves around on the screen too. Probably if I happen to get like a different
Yeah.
angle, maybe I might be able to.
Now there's
Hey,
a
if
cross.
we had Liza's AI 3D programming thing, we could move around it, right? From Librarians, that was on last time we talked about. Bill says the jump drive could be info on the revivers, a government cover up. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's a paper. It looks like there's a star on it, maybe. Like maybe that could be related to I was gonna call her Romy. I hate when I do that. M's drawings, maybe.
Yeah, I was
Or
thinking.
maybe that guy's thing about his concert. I don't paper. That's the only other thing I can think of. Cell phone, not sure about the deer. Handcuffs are self-explanatory. Teeth, self-explanatory. Here's a camcorder. That's probably representing the journalist that was taken.
Oh,
And
yes.
There's pills too.
Uh-huh.
You know what would be
Wow.
interesting? I'm just thinking as I say this, especially because there's 2 cop cars. It would be really interesting if each thing represented one person and like how they're connected. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
the skulls, Blaine, the rings, Aaron. The sheriff's badge would be the sheriff, but there's like more than one cop. One could be Dana, one could be somebody.
Yes.
Maybe there'll be some kind of tech person in the show. I don't know. I'm just
No, I like your analogy. I like it. Yeah.
there's probably some religious person. I don't know. I'm just kind of
Well, the church, you know, and what's on the bottom on the right? Yeah.
That's like a deer or something. It's got antlers and glowing eyes. Beyond that, I don't know. And a cell phone. This looks kind of, and I don't know that it is, but this kind of looks like it could be a camera. Whoa, did not mean to do that. Sorry. That was intentional.
A camera?
It could be like the barrel of the, you know what I mean? Like the, God, I'm a photographer and I can't even think of what it's called. The part that you turn to get it in focus. I don't know what it's called exactly.
Oh, the zoom?
Yeah, it could be the zoom lens, but I don't know. It reminds me of like that.
Oh, the focus.
Yeah, the focus lens.
Yeah.
Like I guess it is the lens. I guess that's the answer.
It's lens. It's a
lens.
lens.
Yeah. If you have a detachable lens, it would be the lens.
Now,
anyway,
what is that? You may have mentioned it already. What is the one that's near the badge and the hard drive? What is that one? Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
cop car, I think. It looks
Oh,
like
that's the cop car. Okay.
Got a focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one I don't know what it is. That thing. It looks like a stat. Oh, a microscope maybe? Does that look like a microscope to you?
It could be.
Yeah.
I was thinking the bridge. Could that be the bridge?
Maybe.
A weird looking bridge, but
it kind of looks like the microscope. Like this is like the viewer part.
Yeah,
right
I think it's a
and
microscope. But where is the bridge and where is the water?
Well, this is the water. This is all under the bridge.
Oh, gee, why didn't I realize that?
I have no idea. I'm just saying that. I really don't.
Oh, because I would think we'd see something with that too, like the bridge.
But that's what I mean. This is the water. So like it could be that water. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the water under the bridge.
I mean, I assume the pills could be like the drugs, you know.
It's funny. I didn't take that as water, but you're right. Now that I look at it.
Yeah, that's most definitely underwater.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking
about that. Here is the light from the coming from the sun or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's such a cool opening. I just am curious if there is more to it, or is it just like we took cool things and shoved them in the opening?
I think you're right. I think it's just showing all the characters on the show and how they're connected.
Yeah.
And how they were involved in the story.
Because each one could definitely, be a character. Because like the pills could be M, the microscope could be, Ibrahim.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some kind of religious person. Or, I mean, the cult could be religious, but I still would think he's probably more likely that skull with the horns. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But
what about the son, Cooper?
I don't know.
Maybe he's the hard drive.
Yeah, maybe. No, I have no idea. I'm just trying to figure out what.
Yeah, no, I just think it's old because the handcuffs and the cop car, right? We know that's the sheriff, his daughter.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go, and I'm going to try to remember to do it. I'm going to try to get a higher resolution version of the video See if I can find like a better one that's, sometimes you can get 2K, but usually the color's messed up. See if I can get a higher resolution one and use my upscaler to try to, I mean, not that it doesn't add artifacts and it might mess it up, but we can try it. See if we can get a better view of what's there. I'm also curious if anybody else has talked about it. I'm looking to see. I'm wondering if it's something from the comic books, you know?
Yeah.
It might be. I'd like to see if I can find the comics at the library, actually.
Yeah, but you don't want to. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, to read, yeah. I mean, I feel like if I read them, it's a little different. Plus, you can read them and stay, you know, like.
That's true.
Up on them. I do know a little bit. I found out kind of accidentally when I was looking up comic stuff. That's why I stopped doing it.
Yes.
But I wouldn't mind reading the comics beforehand. But yeah, I don't see anything about it. I was just kind of curious if anybody talked about it.
Well, maybe we'll be the first ones.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I want to make like a video on it.
Let's do that. Let's
no mention of a web skull image being part of the opening credits. The opening. See, I hate when you get the AI like answering you in Google and like what it says is completely irrelevant and wrong. Like it says the opening of the show. We're focused on this. I'm talking about the opening credits, you dumbass. It's not what I'm looking for. How about web with skull? Okay, wait, hold on. It says something about the image. This was on sci-fi about the image that inspired. Let me see what it says. Oh, okay. No, it's just talking, I think, about the cover of the comic book that inspired it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's got a lot that can be really dived into, but yeah, I'd like to know more about that and if there's purpose or if we're just giving it purpose, which we could be.
No, I think there is some significance to it.
Yeah. Bill said all could be connected by death. Yeah.
Yes, because the skull is in the middle, right?
Yeah. But I'm just curious, like, is it just things that are important? Is it trying to reveal clues? Is it each represents a person? I'm also curious about where the daffodils come from. Like, obviously, the daffodils are like a design choice. I mean, they used it in the key art and that. So it might just simply be somebody like daffodils and they decided to stick it in the imagery.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I feel like it's got to have some significance to the show. That was probably in the comic, but I mean,
maybe find out the mother's favorite flower was daffodil.
Yeah, maybe, or that the daffodils were growing on the girl's grave or something. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm just curious to know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what it's about.
Interesting.
So I'm going to look into it.
So
for a video, we'll see.
So how does everybody feel about this episode and about the show in general? How are you feeling about it? Are you enjoying it? Put your comments below in the chat and we can talk about it. I like it. I really, it does remind me of From in many ways. I don't know if it's that much of a mystery box show. I mean, it is a little bit of a mystery box show.
No, it's really not. I'm going to put here, I don't know that anybody wants to, but I'll put the StreamYard link in the chat. If any of you want to join in on voice chat with your thoughts, just make sure you tell us ahead so we know who you are, so we don't get spammers if you're going to connect. I know you're somewhat, I know right now you're not bringing people in StreamYard, but if you ever do, just make sure you do know people before you bring them in. I don't know if you remember what happened to us. You don't.
I remember I was there.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you were on. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be. They won't have a picture, but their voice can come through.
But there is a bit of
a scripting thing, so like you can automatically pop somebody up if they come on.
Yes. But it is a bit of a mystery box. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it's to the extent of From, but there is a puzzle here that needs to be figured out.
But I wonder, like, if we're putting too much into the puzzle. Bill says, I like the progression of the show and its mysteries. The show doesn't take itself too serious, so the comedy is relief. See, I actually find this show, and I've said this before, I actually find it more drama than comedy. I mean, like, there's a couple one-liners, but I really don't find it. I would overall call it dramatic. Other than we're making things funny, like the hygiene. I mean, we're making issues out of it to make it
I
funny.
agree. I mean, that first episode, we were focusing on that, and it became like a joke after a while, right?
Yeah, I did. I
So
don't
we're
know that
kind
it
of getting
meant
away from
to be
that.
funny. It just was. The original comics has roses on the cover, so that's interesting. Like maybe
Oh,
it was originally roses, and they made them into daffodils for whatever reason, right? I don't know, but I'm curious now.
I think I just want to comment on what Bill said, that the show isn't taking itself too seriously. The comedy is a relief, and yeah, I agree with that. But I think that's going to change. I think the show is going to get a lot darker as it goes along. Um, I think we're just seeing little glimpses of how these characters interact. But as the story goes on, I can see people just falling apart and things getting really, really dark, especially with that guy Blaine. If he's a cult leader or if he's
Yeah,
an alien or whatever, he's going to lead that. So, and I do think they are connected in some way. There is like
yeah,
a hive mind going on.
yeah. I wish that I had thought about like the web and that before I did the interviews, because now I want to ask the showrunners like, what's up with the web?
Mm,
Should we be investigating it, or are we just too into investigating? Too into pulling things apart. Sometimes I think we just get too far down the rabbit hole when we don't need to, you
yes.
know. But it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy the rabbit hole. So
Well, are you going to be doing any more interviews with the cast or the
right
showrunners?
now, just Stephen Ogg, but I
Okay.
will have the other ones going up.
You can
I
ask Stephen Ogg about that. He might have
I
some.
maybe, but that's more like a showrunner writer question. I'm not sure he
Yeah.
would probably have the answer. But I know what I was gonna say. I do have the video of the David who plays the father. I do have that edited, so that will be going up very soon. But I gotta get
Okay.
the written part up. I keep putting the videos up and not linking the written parts, and I need to get the written parts done too.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, and then I have the showrunners. I just wish I would have like thought about it, because now I want to ask them that, and now I can't ask them that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
There's
have more.
always there's always next season.
Yeah, it's always, well, hopefully
And they'll probably change. They'll probably change it for next season
they
too.
might. If we get another season, I hope so. I like it.
I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's
And
really
what other top shows does Sci-Fi have right
well, it did have Surreal Estate, but that's over for now.
now? What
I
about
don't
Murderbot or the
Murderbot
Librarians?
Apple, but Librarians is TNT, but
Oh,
Sci-Fi does have Resident Alien.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
and I think for right now, that's kind of it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else right now that's sci-fi that's coming. Hold on, I can tell you.
Midwich Cuckoos. I'm not familiar with that. Have you seen that, Jamie?
No, I have not. I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't remember where. Um, but no, I've not seen that. Arc, we have Arc, but that's not back for a while. But that's yeah, those are
Oh,
kind of
it's
the
on AMC Plus. Okay.
yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Kimberly, what kind of show is it? Is it like oh, I think I told. Oh, it's
Yeah,
one season of it.
that's probably why I heard of it then, Kimberly. I said
Okay.
the name sounded familiar. That's probably
Well,
why, because you
what is
told
it
me.
about, Kimberly? Is it about sci-fi? Yeah.
I assumed it was about witches, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Midwich wouldn't be, but I'm
Um
thinking that. Yeah, I
hmm.
don't know.
Well,
I
since Sci-Fi only has Resident Alien, really, they probably will want to renew this. Why not?
probably.
It's
So
not
that's
like it's a high budget
right.
show.
But to be interesting. That kind of sounds like Winona. um, yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll have to find out about that show. I'll have to write it down. But I yes, you're right with what you're saying. But that's also why I would have thought they wouldn't have canceled like Reginald or whatever. I mean, they have the arc, but it's not back for a while.
I see.
Um, Surreal Estate, I don't know what's happening with that. I hope it comes back. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, there's not a lot on Sci-Fi Channel. It needs
Yeah,
to be
that's why I would think that they
original
would renew it.
programming.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's not. it's not like Netflix where they have so much content. They're very picky about what they renew.
Right.
You know?
They have Chucky too. I don't know if that's coming back. I don't watch that, so
Yeah,
I don't-
not my thing.
no, not really mine either. But
Yeah.
Well,
So if anybody wants to call in, you have anything you want to talk about, anything about the episode that stood out to you,
or just about the show in general, or the comics, if you have something you want to add. But if not,
I do want to say one thing about the logo, Jamie, that came to me.
Okay.
I think a headstone would look really cool with that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cemetery thing down below kind of works too. I like the animation. Maybe not the bats, but I mean that's what was there.
I like it, but I'm thinking for the revival redo logo, maybe to put like a small headstone or I don't know if you want to add something to it.
No, yeah, I'll have to mess around with it, and especially because I'm messing around with the animation and figuring out the background. I can always redo it, do it different. I just wanted something up, but yeah, maybe I can put a headstone that says it instead. That'd be kind of cool. Although it would be floating, but I guess if you put it on the top of that box, it would work. Yeah, the cemetery animation though isn't mine. I can't take credit for the cemetery animation.
But I like it. It goes very well with this show.
It does. It was the only thing that was like zombie-ish, but it's actually for Halloween. But that's
and the bats flying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it has bats.
I mean, but also
so it was Halloween.
Also, look at that photo of M. I mean, you could see her transformation. You know, she looks like she gets pretty dark here. I mean, she's dark as it is.
But yeah, her hair is partially.
Her hair, she looks like she's really on a mission here. She's maybe part of this cult or whatever. There's going to be a big transformation in her character where she's going to become more confident in herself. Like you said, she knows that nothing is going to happen to her. She can break every bone and she'll be healed in 5 minutes. So, you know, I could see her becoming like a real badass and, you know, starting to just like attack and fight people and stuff. So,
yeah, could be. I hope she doesn't end up bad though or anything.
I hope not, but she could go to the dark side very easily.
I'm not sure if that's in reference to the title or you're just talking about they're going to have a revolt. I'm assuming that might be in reference to the title. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought Redux made sense since we're reviewing it. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it.
But I'll see what else I can come up with and mess around with it. I do want to figure out how to animate it. I was so happy when I got it animated until I found out the words were going to be see-through.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand how to do chroma key or whatever it is, color key.
Right.
I got to read up on how to do that. I'm still learning the program, but hey, I just got an animation.
I mean, even if it's not animated, it's nice. I like it like that. I like the font. I like the whole look of it.
I just don't know how to knock out the background. It's on white, so. But yeah.
Okay, so if anyone else have any comments as far as liking the episode, if you want to put it in the chat, we could see on a scale of 1 to 10 how you guys rate it, what you think of it.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, maybe a 7, 8, somewhere around there. I can put up a poll here. You guys can also answer it later too if you don't get it now, but I'll put the poll up. I put, did you like it? Yes, no, or meh. How do I start that? Wait, I don't want that. I just want to do it that way. There you go. If you guys are in my chat, you'll see it.
Okay, Bill says 7.6 for the first episode. Kelly gave it an 8. Bill gave it a 7.7 on the second episode. Okay, so we're about 7.7, 8. Okay, so we're all like in agreement here. We're all seeing it about the same way.
I kind of like the first episode a little better though. Actually, I think just because it was the I don't know, info dump that we got the beginning, the opening and the idea of it. So I kind of like the beginning a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah, well, we got to meet all the characters. It was a setup for the show. Yeah, I agree. This episode, it gave us more of a background into M, what's going on with her, but it didn't really have any story development, though. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'd probably give the other one a little bit higher. Like the other one maybe like a 7.8, and this one
Hmm.
maybe like a 7, 7.1, somewhere around there. I don't
Hmm.
think this one was quite as good, but I still think it was good. It wasn't as good as the first one, I
Yeah,
guess.
I agree. I think the first one would be an 8.3 maybe, and this one like 7.8. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll bring it down a little bit.
somewhere around there. Oops, that was a code.
So I think we're about wrapped up here.
Yeah.
Do we get everything on the poll? Let's see. Is there anything
Um,
else?
yeah, it'll take a little bit. You guys can still vote after, I believe, if you haven't voted now, or if you, because right now I see 100% yes, but I don't know if it tells how many people voted.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it does. So we'll just
All
leave it
right.
there now.
The point is, we all seem to like it, so
Okay,
that's what's
Samuel
important.
said the first one was a 9. So Sam,
Yes.
the first one
Yeah.
better too. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Great.
Yeah.
All right. So Jamie, what are the announcements for next week? We have Dead City again coming
Yeah.
up.
Everybody, please come back and join both of us on Sunday for 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We have, or 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I keep forgetting I changed it. We have the watch party, and 11 p.m. is our live stream for Dead City. And there's 2 episodes left, right? Or is that the
No, it's the finale.
finale? Okay. Okay.
Next episode is going to be the finale, and it looks like it's going to be very exciting. I hope so. I mean, it looks really good. I've heard a lot of good things about the finale, so
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so tune in to us at 11 o'clock. We'll be talking about the finale of Dead City. That's on
I'm
Sunday.
really curious what's going to happen with Herschel. I mean, it's just I don't see how they can redeem that character.
I can't either. And I really don't think that I was talking more about it on our other show. I just don't see that they made me believe that the Dama brainwashed him. I think that he's just a sociopath, and I
Yes,
think that she saw that in him, and I think it brought it out. And yeah,
yeah.
I do not like him, his character. Actor,
I
yes.
I agree. Actually, the video I put out, I don't know if you saw it on
Not yet.
Maggie High Anxiety. I talk about that in the video that the Dama, because the Croat had said that Dama was able to read him. She understood him. She knew what he needed. And I said I think that she also saw Herschel the same way. She saw he had some psychosis. She saw that she could mold him and manipulate him. And I think Herschel was like that all along, and it's just
Yeah.
coming out more and more. But of course, with the writing, they could just say, "Hey, Dom is dead. Oh, and Herschel's crying.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mom," and it's over. But
it
that's
could be.
not real life. That is
It's
not
not.
real life.
It's not. What's
No.
POS? I feel like I should know this, and I'm just blanking. Herschel's a
Oh,
POS.
piece of.
Shit. Okay, that's what I wondered. Okay, I didn't know what it
You
meant.
said it. I didn't.
No, I was thinking that it meant something like that, but I didn't know that probably is what it
Yes,
meant.
in the comics, he is.
He is. Yeah,
He's
well,
really rotten
he
in
is
the.
he is
Isn't
in the
he? Is he the one that kills Rick in the comics? Is that
that
is
I
that
don't know. I haven't
Herschel
read
that
the
does
comic.
it? Or is
I
that the governor? What's her name? Pamela Milton's son. One of them kills Rick. I don't remember which one. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
Herschel is
don't know.
awful in the comic. Um,
But anyway, yeah, Sunday.
what's DGAF?
Don't give a.
Uh,
Well, I think as long as you don't swear too much, YouTube doesn't seem
so
to
we're going to
care.
do an after dark now.
Yeah, we're going for after dark swearing mode. But yeah, Sunday at 11 we have Dead City. So that's for the finale, and then Monday at midnight, right before midnight, 11:59. I have Midnight Murderbot for Murderbot, and that uh watch parties at 11. And then Tuesday is our roundup show that's at 10 p.m. Eastern, as always, which now we're talking a little about basically a little bit about all the shows that we talk about on the other shows, plus Resident Alien. And then on Thursdays, we have Librarians, the next chapter. And that is also at 11. However, I'm kind of contemplating, I think that Thursday we might change the time a little bit and make it a little bit later, just because I don't know that I will make it home. I want to make sure I make it home, because as I said, Thursday is my birthday. So I want to make sure that I'm here and back and everything, because I intended to go out. But yeah, have a Thursday. We'll have, I don't know, some kind of birthday bash on the stream maybe, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
would
the
be
whole.
nice.
I don't know what to do. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I keep saying I feel like I want to do something. I just don't know
What,
what.
that's the night of the Librarians?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the night of our live stream. Yeah, that's on Thursday.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's that, and then of course Friday again we'll be back for revival. But
Mhm.
like I said, please make sure you check out the videos on. I mean, the video tab that has all our interviews and everything. And I do have a lot more interviews that will be coming up in the next couple days. I'll be getting up, and yeah, like I said, I'll be talking to Stephen Ogg for revival. So if you have any questions for him, you can leave them on in either X or Discord. But please make sure you like and subscribe to both my channel and Laurie's channel, Real Cinema Therapy, mine sci-fivision. So yeah, I know some of you sometimes are watching on NDB Media, so make sure you subscribe to sci-fivision as well. And you know, if you're watching from our channel, you might want to check out NDB Media too. But yeah,
Yeah, and please check out my new video. I just put it up yesterday on the Dead City season episode 7. And it really, I don't review the episode because the episode was, I like parts of it. Other parts of it I didn't like. The parts with Negan I really did not like. I didn't think it made sense. The script just did not make sense to me. Why he would just go from one extreme to the other. But with Maggie, I really liked the connection she had with the Croat. I really liked how they tied their stories in together. We didn't really know much about the Croat, but we learned in this last episode his backstory. And we, of course, if you're a Walking Dead fan, you know Maggie's backstory. And there is some commonality there. And there's also commonality between the Croat and Herschel. And I kind of tied that all together into the video. I also spoke about Maggie's trauma. She has gone through tremendous trauma. I mean, look, she saw her father decapitated in front of her. Her sister Beth was killed. She saw Glenn brutally killed by Negan. Maggie has gone through a lot of trauma. And because she's in an apocalyptic world, she can't be vulnerable. She can't let her emotions out. So she's had to be strong and tough. She was the leader of the hilltop. She was a fighter. But in this season of Dead City, because Herschel has taken a turn to the dark side, it has thrown Maggie. And all these feelings of guilt about, was she a good mother to him? How did this happen to him? Did Negan cause this to happen to him? And I think it really came out, you know, we saw her starting to crumble in this season. But this past episode, Maggie really was losing it. She all of a sudden had anxiety, being very high up in that building, and she looked like she was having some kind of panic attack. And all these traumas were flooding back for her. And I just like the way they did it. I do like the writing part for Maggie in that episode. And I enjoyed the connections with the original show. So please check out my video. It's called High Anxiety, which is a takeoff, if anyone is a Mel Brooks fan, on the Mel Brooks movie High Anxiety. And it describes what she goes through in this episode. So please check it out. I really think it, you know, and I go into a psychological analysis too. It's not just me reviewing it. It's me using psychological terms to explain what's going on. So I would appreciate if everyone would check it out. It'd be great.
All right, yeah, check out Laurie's video. And like I said, make sure you guys check out our recent interviews on our video tab on sci-fivision. And there are more to come. And other than that, we will see you guys, I guess, on Sunday.
Sunday for Dead City.
Yeah, make sure you're a member of our Discord, and then you can also be you know, updated on the schedule that's going on, because like I said, I do think Thursday we might be going a little bit later. We'll see how that goes. But and yeah, and once again, just a reminder that starting Sunday, July 13th, that's when the Institute starts. We will be at 9 o'clock. Yay. At 9 o'clock when the episode drops, we'll be having our watch party right away, and then we'll be doing a live stream breakdown after that, probably around 11. I don't think we solidified it, probably around 11. And so that's on, will be on Sundays. And then also Karen and Najia and I are doing the actual review separate of it on another day. And yeah, and I feel like there was something else I was going to say that just went, phew. I don't remember what it was.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot. Oh, I know what I was going to say. And Scarlett and I are trying to figure out somewhere in between where we're going to fit in Sandman. We might do just like a couple short ones, not 6 separate weeks, just like a couple short ones, since they are dropping all at once. Because we can't. I don't think we can fit in another 6 episodes, but maybe if we combine them. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I know we want to do Nautilus and Wednesday too, but there's so much. I don't know if we're gonna
Wow, there's a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, they all seem to come at once. But yeah, definitely want to do the Institute. That's why I'm starting to like regret that I decided to do 2 Institute shows. Not that I don't want to cover it twice, but it's just like it's so much. I don't have time for everything.
Can you combine the other show with a few shows beside? In other words, in addition to the Institute, maybe you can cover another show as well.
Maybe, I don't know. The thing is, when we do the other show, we do more of like a review than a breakdown. So, but yeah, we could maybe do it. Well, we do. I mean, we do our on Tuesday. We kind of go over everything. But the idea was that we could do a longer review this way, so we're not rushing. When we do our Tuesday show, we tend to try to stay like under a half an hour for our review. And when we did like Last of Us and From and stuff, we end up doing that specific show really long, and then it takes too long on Fandom Access. So that's why we were doing like certain shows we're doing separate.
I see. Okay.
But we don't really break it down that way, but we'll have broken it down on Sunday. So that will work. And the review is probably going to be either Mondays or Thursdays. I will let everybody know. So just keep checking Discord. But our breakdown is definitely on Sundays. So make sure you guys join our watch party and then join our live stream. Yeah, the Institute's going to be great. Stephen King. I don't know that it's quite a puzzle box show, but it's definitely got a mystery.
And Jack Bender, director of From.
Director From, yes. And yeah, I should be covering some of that stuff pretty soon for the Institute. Some interviews for that too.
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask you about the interviews.
Yeah. I do not have times yet, but I believe that I'm getting at least one of the interviews, so that'll be soon. I don't like to announce ahead of time because then it's like for Resident Alien that I'm telling everybody, oh, I'm doing this and then it didn't happen. I wanted to talk to Envern, it didn't happen. Look, people have to reschedule, things happen. That's why I try to not go too far in advance before
the Institute. What actors are in the Institute? I'm it's funny, I don't know.
Ben Barnes is in it. What the heck? Why am I trying to say her name? I want to say Jamie Louise because my name's Jamie Louise, and that is not Mary Louise Parker. I was trying to.
Oh, Mary Louise Parker, she's great.
Yeah, I'm like Jamie Louise. No, that's me. Named after my grandmother. I always growing up hated my middle name, but now that I miss my grandmother, I like having her.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was just looking up the one who plays the main kid, Luke. His name is Joe Freeman. I think I don't know if he's new. I had not.
I heard of his name, Joe Freeman.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's only been on Doctors and Paul Well or whatever that is. So yeah, he's a fairly pretty new actor. So he hasn't been in a lot of stuff. But
okay, but Mary Louise Parker, I like.
Mary Louise Parker, yes, is in it, and there are some faces that you might recognize from.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Well, at least one of them is already on Internet Movie Database, been announced. Robert Joy is in it.
Oh, I love him.
And I feel like there's somebody else.
That's Victor's dad.
Yeah. Oh, the one who got the pole through her head.
Oh yeah.
I don't know her name.
Kelly.
I believe she's in it. At least I thought that was her. So yeah.
Anybody else?
That's what I'm looking to see. I don't want to say it's been announced, but I don't necessarily know their names offhand either. I just recognized those two. But yeah, Ben Barnes, Mary Louise Parker, and Joe. I say his last name was Joe Freeman, are kind of the main, I guess, the
Wow.
main cast. So
Yeah, it's exciting. Looking forward to that.
Yep, everybody should look forward to it and join us for our watch party.
But it's funny about Robert Joy because we've been speculating about from that who's going to die next season, and I mean I personally think Victor's father is going to die, and if he's going to be on this new show, that could be the reason. Possibly.
Maybe, but I mean, it's obviously done filming, and From is just starting filming, so I don't know that would affect.
Oh no, I don't mean I mean in other words, filming it towards the end of the season that he would die.
Right, but I mean, like they're already done filming the Institute, so I'm saying.
But they may do another season. That they want to get 5 seasons of the Institute.
Do they? Well, I don't know if the thing is, I don't think Stephen King wrote more than the story, did he? I mean, I guess it depends what they decide to do.
Exactly.
I think it's listed as limited, but that doesn't always mean that. It's probably a possibility to do more. I don't know.
It's listed as limited. That's interesting because I somebody say 5 seasons, but maybe that was somebody's opinion.
I'm pretty sure it's limited. I assume that it's the book. I have not read the book. I know AJ has. So I don't know, but I thought it was supposed to be limited, but I could be wrong.
Maybe you're right. Let's look into that, because if it's not limited and they're going to have a few seasons, that would also, I would think that they would probably kill him off and From, because I think it's going in that direction anyway. I don't know how much more his character can lend to the story at this point.
I don't know that they film the same time though, because I would think that From would be done filming by the time that, even if there was another season of Institute, that it started again.
That's true.
Well,
that's true.
They can sometimes do both.
I mean, years ago when they would have seasons that were like 15, 20 episodes, it was impossible for the actors to do anything else. But now it's not. If you have 6, 8, 10 episodes, you could do several series.
Yeah.
That's true.
You definitely could. Alrighty, guys. I think that is about it.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yeah. We will see you on Sunday night, guys.
And thank you all for coming. Thank you. We'll go through the chat. Bill, Chill, Muncher, Luncher, Kelly, Samuel. Let's see who else. Kimberly. Anybody? NDB Media.
That's me.
Mike.
That's me. It's coming through all of them. Yeah, it comes through sci-fivision and NDB and all the different.
Okay. Mike and I think we got everybody. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, well, guys, thanks for joining us, and I hope you can join us on Sunday.
And Trey.
Trey. Yes, Trey. I hope you guys can join us on Sunday, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing this again.
Guys, give me some suggestions of stuff to do special on my birthday stream. Like,
I was going to ask you what you're going to do on your birthday.
I have no idea. That's why I'm wondering if I should do something crazy on the stream. What am I going to do? I'm going out, but I have interviews beforehand. So.
You mentioned that, right?
Yeah, so I won't be out all day, but that's why I'm afraid I won't make it back. That's why I might move it a little bit later, just because I don't want to be late for the show.
Well, you have to have like a birthday toast and maybe a birthday cake or something.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do on the stream. I just was trying.
I'm talking about on the stream.
On the stream.
Yes.
Cake on. I can maybe get a virtual cake and put it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change the overlay for my birthday and put like balloons and shit up. And
yeah, I like that idea. Yes.
That might be fun. We'll see. But yeah, so that is Thursday. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So thank you for joining us.
And questions for Stephen Ogg for the interview.
Yes, please. Either through X or through Discord. Just even message me. I'll find them. And
And please like and subscribe to our streams, both of our streams. We greatly appreciate it.
Do appreciate it. I know most of the people that watch my streams are not subscribed. So please subscribe.
That's right. You must subscribe.
Yeah.
And then you'll know our schedule also. You'll see when videos are dropping. You'll see when our lives are scheduled. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Have a wonderful night.
If you guys want me to do one on the web there, a video or something. We'll talk about it. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.